All right. So let's continue with our Nespresso brand. So who is Nespresso as a brand? I first want to show you guys this video to show you the introduction of who is Nespresso. Again, I'll suggest you guys both to take as much notes as you can. The more information you have now on paper, the less questions you'll have to your managers the first question, the first shift. I'll start the video right now, but you might have to start it on your side as well. So let just do a thumbs up if you can see the video.
Is it playing right now or okay? I see it now.
Okay, perfect. And Siddharth, you okay? Siddharth, yeah. All right. So I want to ask you guys, what did you see here in this video that are very important information?
So like, so the video talked a lot about the connection between like coffee and like the people making the coffee, how coffee is beyond just like a drink.
For sure, exactly. And there's a full art behind it, right? There's so many steps to do to make sure you get the perfect cup of coffee at the end. And Nespresso is known to take the most luxurious, the most expensive, and the most time-consuming steps to get the best quality at the end. Very good. Nicole, did you want to add anything else?
The video was muted and I just started like 30 seconds ago. I couldn't
Ah,
really hear audio.
okay. If you want, I'll wait and then you can finish.
Okay. I can see the video, but I couldn't hear the audio.
Okay, it's okay. I mean, it's not like it's more of an inspiring video to show you like the farms, the agriculture, and the art. There was like a diamond scene where it shows the quality, the supreme luxury of Nespresso. And it's very important to know that the coffee is a force for good, and that our company not only must have a positive impact on the humans, so it could be the farmers, it could be the employees, it could be the consumers itself, but at the same time it's creating that positive impact on the environment. So while we're producing good quality coffee, we try to not destroy the environment at the same time because it's destroyed enough, right? And we take the highest and the most expensive steps again to make sure that one day in our future our children will have good quality coffee. Thank you very much. And then we'll continue with our Nespresso history. So Nespresso as a brand started in the 1970s, and it was really a story that began when a Nestle engineer was named Henry Nestle. Well, no, sorry, Nestle's engineer who was named Nestle, Henry Nestle, at first had a milk company, like a powdered milk company, where they could create powdered milks for infants who could not be breastfed. And around this time, he starts making their brand much bigger, and usually around 1800s. And later on, there was this Nespresso engineer named Eric Favre. And Eric Favre was the Nespresso engineer that first created the Nespresso machine. And it was a love story. So basically, Eric Favre married Anna Maria, who was an Italian woman, and they both moved to Switzerland. And in Switzerland, usually it was not the best, like, I guess, choice of coffee of what Anna Maria was used to. So Eric Favre wanted to create the perfect coffee machine for his wife. And with many researchers he did in Italy, he made sure that he created the perfect machine, not only for a perfect cup of coffee every single time, but keeping the same quality, like the consistency was very important for him. And at the same time, it's making sure that's easy to use. So it's one touch of a button that's going to make the perfect coffee for them. So that was the history of Nestle and Nespresso. And the reason why we have that Nestle and Nespresso contact, just because it was a Nestle engineer that first invented the Nespresso machine. The name Nespresso comes from Nestle and espresso. And Nestle is a global brand. So they have more than 2,000 brands under their belt. And usually I say every row that you go in a grocery store, you will find at least one Nestle product in that row. Like, it's huge as a brand. And they are the biggest in food and beverage industry in the world. They're the biggest. So we're lucky to be working with them. And they have around 1 billion Nestle products sold every single day across the globe. And to come to that subject we were discussing, so at Nestle, we have a fantastic coffee brand portfolio, and there's 3 choices. At first is Nescafe. So this is what makes usually a simple instant coffee. It's basically a powdered coffee that is already torrefied, already mixed in water, already extracted, but then dried up. So that becomes an instant coffee. And when the client is ready to drink it, they just have to take a spoon and remix it in water to get moisture in it and get the coffee they want. But honestly, it's not going to be the best quality coffee, just because you don't get that extraction throughout the time you're doing the coffee yourself. The crema is not going to be there. The oil of the coffee is not going to be there. It's not going to be the most luxurious coffee. If not, you have the Starbucks. So as you guys already know, it's one of the biggest and most iconic coffee brands that exist. And it's really to elevate that everyday coffee experience, but at the same time, you can do some at home. But you have so many choices as well at Starbucks. But the coffee we will work at and we will represent is Nespresso. So it's the ultimate super premium coffee brand. And it's not only that we offer the trilogy. So what is a trilogy? It's our coffee, machines, but also a huge service to clients. And it's the only brand on earth that offers the 3 of them together. So there's no other brand on earth that offers coffee, machines, and services. And to give you a bit more idea of who is Nespresso, so there are 3 production centers where we transform our coffee beans to capsules. So usually our coffee beans are selected near the equator of the world. The equator are very like in the middle of the world. That means it's humid, hot countries, perfect for the climate of coffee. And then when it's cultivated, it's at first it looks like a cherry when the bean is cultivated, like a red cherry. And inside that cherry, there's 2 beans that become the future coffee beans later on, the 2 pits. And they have like a very thin layer, so that's separated. The fruit and the coffee bean is separated. They're washed very well in natural water and sun-dried under the country itself. Again, all natural, so no machinery, no chemicals added. And the farmers hand pick each coffee bean. So imagine the work they have. Each bean they have to select carefully to make sure that it's fully red and ripe to give the full aromas of the taste of the coffee. And finally, there's a very thin layer that has around that bean when it's dried. That thin layer is removed. And finally, when the bean is green, it's sent to the 3 production centers where they're located in Switzerland. And a big brand like Nespresso could have had hundreds of production centers all across the globe. They only chose to leave 3 in the same country. Why do you think they did that? No idea? It's to keep the quality of coffee. Because if we had hundreds of production centers all across the globe, the procedures would have changed very easily. The regulation would have changed. The quality of the water, the mechanisms would have changed. So if it's done in only 3 production centers, the quality of Nespresso stays consistent with every box and every capsule that has been created. The tests they do, they have so many filters to make sure that each bean is perfect before they even torrefy it or they decaf it. And each capsule is perfectly packaged with no air that's going to enter inside that capsule. And there's 76 countries where Nespresso is available, 8,000 coffees that are done every single minute across the globe, 13,500 employees across the globe, 720 boutiques across the globe. These are statistics from 2022, if I'm not mistaken, or 2021. So I'm sure it has been even now, it's even more. And 35% of our capsules globally are collected and recycled. This is a statistic done in 2024. So it's a huge accomplishment as a brand. And Canada is number 4th country that Nespresso is most popular in. So we do the most sales in Canada, and we're number 4th on the chart. And in Canada, there's more than 1,100 employees and more than 36 boutiques. So what is the Nespresso concept? So we have various points of differentiation. And first is the capsule itself. So it's perfectly proportioned with the highest quality of coffee. The beans are always the same quality. There's no air that's going to enter. And at the same time, the capsules, they're made fully with aluminum. So that makes our capsules and coffee fully recyclable and compostable, which is our main focus and part of our brand's DNA. Not only that, but the machines from the beginning, as Eric Favre, as an engineer, he created the perfect machine that's easy to use. So you simply have to put a capsule inside the machine, click on the button, and it makes your coffee automatically without you knowing what quality of coffee you have to put or the quantity or how to do the purification. Everything is done for you. And it's the personalized and exclusive services we offer to clients that makes a huge difference. So like I said, the trilogy we have, the services, usually, like, maybe in my 5 years of experience, I've had maybe one client tell me my experience was not the best at Nespresso. Every customer that has came told me they had the most amazing experience. It was super easy to communicate, and the procedure, the warranty, everything was well applied. So we should be, again, talking about it like customer service. If the client has any questions, always lead them to customer service. And Nespresso Canada in retail is a retail, digital, and service company with a luxury territory and a sustainable performance. So since we're talking about sustainability, let's continue with this topic. So I want to show you guys a video. It's about the AAA program. This is what differentiates us compared to a lot of other brands. I mean, all other coffee brands. So I'll start the video. Again, let me know if you can't hear the video or you can't see it. I'm starting right now. You can't see?
I can see it, yes.
You can? Okay, and Siddharth?
Yes, I can see
Okay.
it.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I want to review the three pillars with you guys to get the full idea of all the pillars. So starting off with the first one, what's the name of the pillar and what can you tell me about it?
Quality. So the
Amazing.
idea is to pick like the best quality, sort of like the cherries for the coffee beans.
Great. Okay. So it should be fully red and fully mature. That means the 900 aromas in that cherry is well developed. Okay, great. Anything else to add,
Yes.
Nicole, on this?
Right now I'm having a problem about like the videos. I've been seeing like different kinds. Right now is playing the one that you played recently. Um, because is it because I'm using my phone. I don't know if it's like gonna be different when it's in my phone or computer.
Okay. So are you seeing the AAA video right now?
No, I don't.
Oh, the Nespresso video.
Yeah, yeah, that's I
Um,
just see it right now.
you see
Uh,
it now?
yes.
I'll wait for you.
So yeah, AAA quality, sustainability, and productivity.
Great. Okay, thank you very much. And so are we already said the quality of the coffee is selected only with the reddest and most mature beans to be able to give the full flavor of the coffee. Um, Next, for sustainability, what can you tell me about that?
Sustainability is to sustain the quality of the product
Great.
and to
Okay,
make everything will like produce the same exact flavor and everything.
perfect. And Siddharth, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, like also for sustainability, we kind of want to source the coffee beans and do the processing in a way that it doesn't like badly hurt the environment. So be like very environmentally cautious.
Exactly, exactly. And Nespresso, they invest a lot in those farms to make sure that every procedure we do is fully natural, that creates no CO2, and that is fully recyclable or compostable. So they invest a lot by, for example, infrastructures we build in those farms, or natural drying procedures, or washing procedures, etc. And what can you tell me about the third pillar?
So for productivity, we basically want to make sure that we're maximizing the incentive for like the farmers to produce. And so that's why we have like the premium coffee, and also that they're basically trying to produce as much as possible. So it's really just focused on the incentives to like produce as much coffee as possible.
Exactly, exactly. And Nicole, did you want to add anything into this?
It's productivity and as well as yeah, producing a lot of coffee and as well as giving back to like the community as well to invest in a proper
Mhm.
stuff.
Exactly. And we do pay those farmers 30 to 40% more compared to other brands. So the farmers, technically, they're not Nespresso employees. They have their own jobs, they do their own farming, but Nespresso, they buy the coffees from those farmers. At the same time, when we're helping them, we're making sure that they're better qualified, so they're better, um, I guess, appreciated for those coffees they produced with the highest quality necessary. And there's even a reinforced certification, which entitles them, let's say at the end of the year, Nespresso, they don't need all of those coffee beans they produced. They can sell those extra to other brands. So they're going to make even more profit, and there's no waste, of course, of coffee beans. There's even a lot of, like you mentioned, the communities. We help them in their personal lives, like not only in their financial, but in their own families, like their livable situation. We help them with retirement plans. We help them in their like many different ways, and yeah, it's basically a lot of trainings to assure they have the best job, but at the same time they're respecting their environment while they're producing the coffee. So all of these details makes us different. And why do we have to talk about it to clients?
To let them know that all the products that we produce is good quality and good for ecosystem. Like whatever they purchase, they're also helping ecosystem and
Exactly,
recycling.
exactly. And Siddharth, do you want to add anything into this?
Um, no, I agree what she said. Yes.
So it is very important. This again, this is what makes us different. If the clients don't know about this, they'll never want to invest more in espresso. The reason why, and it's in our DNA, like the reason why we have that good quality coffee, it's because we take care of the environment and it doesn't affect our quality. The reason why we take care of those farmers is to make sure we get the highest quality coffee. Yes, our quality of coffee might be maybe a couple cents more than other brands, but at the same time, look at what we're doing, right? Okay, perfect. Do we have any questions till now? All
No.
right, perfect. So let's continue with B Corp. What is B Corp? So it's a sustainability certification label that meets the highest standards of performance, transparency, and accountability. And this is, again, one of the main certifications we have that is a big, not only ecosystem friendly certification, but at the same time, the big reason if we have B Corp is to always improve our brand. So any negative things we have in the brand, the role of B Corp is to change it to positive. And it's a movement that reunites organizations who believe in business as a force for good. It's a legal commitment to include purpose in the business mission. And B Corp works with so many other coffee brands or so many other extra product brands, like shampoo brands, there's food, any other alimentation brands, so many other extra things they take care of. And there's 5 categories they handle. So first, the workers itself. So there's career development, training practices, engagement and satisfaction, financial security, compensation, health, wellness, and safety. There's also the governance. So ethics, transparency, governance metrics, mission and engagement, board of directors. The consumers itself. So of course, consumer stewardship, disclosure practices, environmental management, air, climate, water, land and wildlife conservation, and finally the community. So local community impact, civic engagement, diversity, equity and inclusion, economic impact, job creation, supply chain poverty alleviation. So it's always improving the brand in any way you can think of. And the key messages we should give to clients. So Nespresso aluminum capsules are recyclable and recycled through the Nespresso recycling program for free. Okay, it's a big program we have. And capsules made of aluminum are infinitely recyclable that protects the freshness and aromas of the coffee. And once collected, coffee grounds aluminum are separated mechanically in a local recycling facility. Recycled materials are given a second life. So aluminum is used to make new objects and coffee grounds are repurposed into Reach compost. 95% of Canadians have access to recycling solution. All original capsules are made using 80% of recycled aluminum. All virtual capsules will be made using 85% of recycled aluminum by the end of 2022. We did reach that goal, and we're always improving. So the key message is basically the biggest enemy of coffee is humidity, it's light, it's oxygen, and those things can impact the quality of coffee very easily. The reason why our coffee stays fresh for years and years, even after the date of expiration, is because of the packaging we have of the aluminum. And it's the perfect material because it's also recyclable and compostable for the coffee itself as well. It's a very lightweight material, so it's easy to transport and it keeps the coffee fresh. So all lights, oxygens, extra impacts that could affect the coffee will not change. And do we have any questions for recyclability? Okay. So let's continue with our Costco program. So the program is back. And as you guys already know, probably there's 2 machines that will be sold to customers, 2 options of machines. Some of you guys might have 1 machine. So I'm not too sure specifically the stores you guys have, but some have only 1. And so your schedule will be Thursday to Monday. And the program started already September 18th, but it'll finish till December 1st. And October 12th is specific for regions only because it's a holiday. Your goal. So on the screen, you see 4 to 6 machines per 8-hour shift, but it's technically 6 machines per 8-hour shift. Like, the reason why it's like absolute minimum, it should be 4 per shift, but the real like expectation of what we're expecting is 6 machines that should be sold every shift, and it's very doable. when I was working, I used to sell minimum 10 machines per clients every single day. It's very, very doable because Costco, the clients, they're completely different than any other customer to ever exist. Like they go in with this huge cart and they're ready to fill it to the maximum brim, right? So it's very important to talk as many clients as we can because if we tell them the promotion we have, it's gonna shock them because Nespresso machines, it's usually a bit expensive and machines as well and coffees as well, but the product we're offering as a package, it's the best price you'll ever get anywhere else. Okay, and it's 40 hours a week, your shifts, and please make sure you check your schedule through NDT and not on Repsly because Repsly, usually managers, they correct it last minute. So the real hours will be marked on NDT. And per 8-hour shift, so you're entitled to a 30-minute break. And that break is non-paid, but it must be taken. So throughout your shift, choose a time where there's less clients and you can go on your 30-minute break.
I just have a question about this online course. So is there any like schedule like during from like starting this September until December? So it's gonna be like Thursday to like Monday, is that
Exactly.
so every day for this in this
Exactly.
part? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
1 to 5, right?
So it's usually 8 to. I'll have to check the schedule. Just give me a second. I can do it right now.
I think it's 8 to 4:30. That's like what mine is.
I think it's
Yeah.
8 to 4:30. Yes, exactly.
Oh, I'm talking about like the training, online training. Like is this good? Because I'm currently employed as well. I just want to know so I can talk to my manager about scheduling and stuff.
I'm not sure if I understand your question. I'm sorry.
Oh, just asking about the schedule and this online training. If it's gonna be
This
just
is the online training we're doing. There's no other extra trainings. Basically, you'll be starting, I think, tomorrow. If your manager probably talked about you, maybe about your start date. Your manager is, let me see who's your manager. So your manager is Eric.
Mhm.
Let me just ask him. I'll come back to you when he answers.
Yeah, no problem.
But he'll be with you the first day. So Eric lives around here in Quebec, so he'll drive up to see you for the first day probably. I'll have to make sure again when's the beginning of when you start. But you're super lucky. Like the managers, like Eric used to be my manager. He's super sweet. Like you'll learn so much from him. And Siddharth, your manager is Diane. So again, you'll learn so much from her. They have both so many experiences at Nespresso, so they'll be there for you. Please feel free to reach out to them if you guys have any questions. But the schedule itself is done on NDT. So check that. We'll review it together if you want. Throughout your break, you can try logging in.
Yeah.
You're probably scheduled already, but even I can check for you. Okay.
Is there any, like app for that, or it's gonna be like an online?
So we'll review later on. It's a site. It's called NDT, Nespresso Demo Tool. I'll send you guys the login information as well. But you should have a full welcome email coming to you after this training, so including information you should know for Costco. Perfect. All right. And then the makeup of the espresso ideal NCA. So when we say NCA, it's an espresso coffee advisor. That's usually the abbreviation of your title. And at Match Retail, we strive to create the optimal NCA for Nespresso. We developed our team to possess proven sales experience, technical product knowledge, and a strong consumer relationship management skills. Our NCAs are motivated and adaptable, maintaining professionalism and integrity while focusing on customer satisfaction. So as you see here, our Alex is called. He's called. It's very important you have that proactive approach. So it's to create that approach yourself and not wait for customers to come to you and greet you, right? At the same time, leveling, so understanding how the person is and I guess accommodating to those person's needs. Closing sales, so it's very important. Usually clients like have their arms crossed in front of you like, do I really go for this machine? Do I have to think about it more? Do I have to talk about it to my wife? And they're gonna start doubting themselves, right? So it's very important you create that closing shift to the conversation, because your goal is to have the most conversations to all customers and not only with one person throughout a 1 hour, let's say. And heart of selling, so always have that passion. It does show to customers. They'll be feeding off of that passion. And finally, the target driven and results focused. So again, the title we give you, that target, it's very important to respect that, because at the end, an 8-hour shift, it's a big investment, so they're expecting a return. So a program overview, a day of our life as an NCA. So first of all, arrive early. Please remember you will have to sign in as a vendor at the memberships desk, as well as set up your space. So at the first cash, usually where they do exchanges and returns, you can go ask someone to sign your name, just because you're a visitor. You're not a Costco employee, so they need to know who's in store that day. So you should sign in, and usually they can ask you even to sign out when you're leaving the shift. They might give you also a visitor card you should keep with you at all times. And then check in. So make yourself known at the front end managers or whoever is manager on duty at that time. So first shift, I'd suggest strongly to have a conversation with the manager. If you guys have any questions, like just present yourself. And you can even ask where they keep your skid of all the Nespresso stock you have, and any extra protocols if you need to know, because it's really depending the Costco you're at. And make sure you have your food handler certification with you at all times. So I'm sure you guys already have a lot of knowledge on that. You probably already have that food handler certification. So it's very important you have not only an email format of that full food handling certification, but also a paper version of it. And keep that with you at all times. It's the thing I can highlight the most in this training. Like, if you don't have this, like, they'll ask you a lot of the times, especially health and safety people in Costco, they'll have conversations with you to make sure the protocol is respected, and they'll ask you the food handler certification. So it's very important to have that at all times. And set up your space. So make sure you have all the supplies and materials you need for that day. Of course, that first hour. So technically, clients come in around 8:30, 8:45. Usually, even though it starts at 9, the opening, again, depending on the store, but your shift starts at 8. So you have a good, technically an hour paid for reportings, for any extra setting up you have to do, and any surveys you have to complete. So it is very important when you're leaving that shift, all the surveys have been completed, they have been sent out and are ready for it to be approved. And I'll show you guys, of course, in detail what you guys have to do. Be sure to have your apron, hairnet, and name tag on at all times during demonstrating. Again, another very, very important thing. Yeah, like, for example, for men who have beards, you should have also a beard net and a name tag, as well as the Nespresso apron. And please do not wear your apron at the bathroom or during your breaks. Please keep your name tag with your apron. And if you need to have, sorry, if you need to leave your boot at like for a break or for a bathroom break or anything else, there's a sign called "Be Right Back" sign, which will be provided and needs to be displayed on your kiosk to let people know that you're coming back. And clean your space throughout the day. Keeping your space clean and tidy will attract more members to your booth. It will also encourage conversation and good flow of presentation. It will impact the customers that will come see you more. If they see a booth full of mess with milk all over, sugar all over, they're not going to be probably feel welcomed. And yes, sorry, go ahead.
Because for my food hunter, I got it when it was like 2021 Algonquin, and I don't know if I have the file, but I have the picture, but I don't have the physical one, and they have like a barcode at the bottom. Is there step where they base it, right? Like you just scan the barcode and.
To be honest, I don't know what it looks like and what you should have as a protocol. So the best thing I can tell you, please contact Eric for that. He'll tell you exactly what they ask if they ever ask.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Thank you.
Of course, thank you. And then resupply when store has low traffic. So if you notice you are less busy and store traffic is low, look at your inventory, water supply, milk supply, and see if this needs any refreshing. This will allow you to be prepared for the next wave of guests. So you'll have throughout the day sometimes where you'll be less busy or you have less clients. So usually when a wave starts, you have 40 customers at the same time, and you can't really stock up while serving 40 customers. So as much as like a little break you have, just fill your water tank, stock up your milk if you need any extra things, your sugars, etc. Recyclability, like you want to throw out your recycling bin for the capsules to empty out, or you have to clean up. Make sure you do that throughout that little break. And track how many coffees you are sampling. So if you're in your recycling bag, you can count how many you made through the day and count them on a piece of paper. You will need to enter this data in your NDT report at the end of your shift. And each time you throw your capsule container inside that capsule bag we give you, the green recycling bag, count how many you're throwing, and then at the end do the total for original and virtual. 2 separate capsules. Both teardowns and area cleanup. So depending on your store, at the end of your shift, you may be required to tear down your booths and bring it to the designated store area. Be sure to empty out used capsules, dump out your water, store everything in the appropriate place, and throw out your garbage. Your managers will be with you the first day, so they'll be probably giving you guys the instructions. They'll probably already know in that store what's the specific protocol they ask. But again, I'd suggest have a conversation with the store manager as well. Because sometimes they ask you put it for example, on at the end of your row, or sometimes they ask you to put it in where they keep their wheels for vehicles, or sometimes at the pharmacy or at the glasses department. So it could be really depending on the store. And end of your day reporting. So be sure you're going through your supplies and note it through NDT. Send in all your reportings. Technically, we can't pay you for any bonuses and shifts if the reportings have not been completed. So very important, when you're leaving that shift, that report has to be submitted. All right. Any questions till now? Perfect. Okay, so let's continue with the machines we have at Nespresso. So starting off, there's 2 ranges and 2 types of machines we have. And we have 1 machine of each range at Costco. So starting off with the original range. So Nespresso, since they started in Switzerland as a base, in Europe, a lot of clients go for espressos. They don't go for big coffees like we do in Canada or North America, right? So when Eric Favre first created an espresso machine, he first went for Italian coffees and that's it. So he stopped at Ristretto, which is a 25 milliliter coffee, the smallest coffee you could ever do. Espresso, it's a 40 milliliter, again, it's an Italian coffee. And Longo, it's basically 110 milliliters. Longo in Italian means espresso, but elongated. So it has the Longo capsules 20% more coffee compared to the espresso capsules. So if the word of the capsule title finishes by the word Longo, that means it automatically has 20% more coffee. So it's going to be a bit more expensive for the client as well, just because they're buying more coffee. And then they have the virtual range. So it's for two clienteles completely different. Each machine uses separate different capsules. They can't go in both, like there's no machine that can take both original and virtual capsules. So if you're buying original machine, it takes only original capsules, and same for virtual. And Virtual started in North America in 2014. It was really a launch that was to accommodate all types of clients. So not only on the screen here, you see 5 sizes. Technically, there's 7, which I'll name you the 2 others that are missing here. There's also the Ristretto on the virtual side as well. So that's one of the sizes missing. So there's 1 capsule only from that flavor and that size. And we have the espresso, which is a 40 milliliter, a double espresso, which is double quantity of coffee, double quantity of water than the espresso. Grand Longo is like the Longo on the original side, but much bigger, so 150 milliliters. And the regular coffee, so it's a black, big coffee, perfect for, let's say, someone who likes a normal black coffee throughout the day, 230 milliliters. And in between here, so it's not written down on the screen, in between regular coffee and carafe, there's another size added, which is called the Alto, ALTO, and it's 355 milliliters of coffee. This is basically a bigger jug of a coffee. So if a client loves taking out, let's say, a big mug of coffee for their work, they don't want to really refill their coffee, and a regular coffee size is not enough for them, the Alto would be the best solution. So it's, again, one even bigger capsule with more quantity of coffee inside that capsule, and you get 350 milliliters of water. And finally, you have the carafe. So this is, again, another one big capsule that's going to be actually divided into 2 or 3 regular coffee sizes. So if someone, let's say, who's a family and they don't want to really use 2-3 regular coffee capsules, if they want to make a couple coffees, they can just do 1 carafe capsule, which is huge, more coffee inside. That's going to be divided later on into 2 or 3 regular sizes. Some clients ask me, hey, can I do a switch? Let's say you're pouring your first coffee, and then once the first one is filled, you can just switch while the coffee's still pouring. Technically, it's not suggested because at first it pours a lot stronger than the end. So the last coffee you're gonna have, it's gonna taste more like water than coffee. That's why just do it as a big carafe and then divide it into 2-3 regular sizes. So do we have any questions for these sizes on the screen? We're good? Okay. So let's continue with the original system mechanism. So our mechanism's name is called a 19 bars pressure. So very traditional Italian espresso machines use usually 14 or 15 bars of pressure. 19 bars is the highest amount of pressure any espresso machine can have. And we have this. And our machine not even costs $250. Right? So it's a huge accomplishment to have, and we should talk about it, because if someone knows what's a system, what's a bar pressure, they're going to be impressed by this. What is a bar pressure? Basically, once you put that capsule inside the machine and you close, you click on the button, the water, it's going to start getting extracted from the machine. While it's heating up inside the machine, it's going to do an immense amount of pressure on that capsule. So while it's pouring, it's going to create that thick crema. The crema is the oil of the coffee. It's not milk. It's not any kind of chemicals. A lot of clients think it's like a milk added in your mug. It's actually just oil of that coffee bean. And oil, water, simple science, it doesn't mix. So that's why oil stays right on top of that cup. That is called the crema. So I'll show you guys this video to show you what's the original system. Nicole, I'm showing you a video about the original system. So it's a machine you'll see in this video. Let me know if you can't see that. So as you saw, because of that amount of pressure, you get the most thick crema you can ever imagine. Compared to other ranges, there's no crema thick like that, just because you don't get that immense amount of pressure. And that crema obtains 40% of the aromas of coffee. So compared to other brands, if you don't get that crema, you automatically reduce that coffee flavor by 40%. Okay, so it's a big argument to prove to clients. Are we okay with the original range? So what's it called? What's the technology called?
Like the 19 pressure system.
19 bars pressure, exactly. You can write it down like as the title itself, so it'll be easier to explain to clients. Perfect. And let's continue with the virtual range. So as I mentioned, Virtual started a lot later and in 2014, and it was really a launch that was created by our research and development team at Nespresso. So it's a technology invented by Nespresso, and we own that technology. So that means no other coffee machine will have a good enough technology like this, basically. And it was launched in North America because here, like I said, a lot of clients go for regular cup sizes. So again, I want to show you guys the video. Write down what's the name of the technology called, and I will explain later on. So as you see, that technology is something else. Basically, it's Nespresso's quality coffee in every cup size. So what's the name of the technology?
Virtuo.
So that's the name of the range. What would be called the technology's name? Cole, I can't hear you. Your mic is on mute.
What I heard is like a centrifusion.
Centrifuging, exactly. So I know it's confusing. Like the terms will come throughout the conversations you'll have with clients, but now if you put it up on your page, like you can put original and virtual, and then name of technology would be original 19 bars pressure, virtual would be centrifusion. So I think now it makes more sense. So at the outset, the idea was just to find out how to further optimize coffee extraction. And during its many tests, the team tested the centrifugal force. They realized they also got that crema, like with the pressure system, but the flavor extraction was actually better. And especially they could get that crema with even larger volumes of water. So this is how the Virtuo was born. With its infinite possibilities, Virtuo adapts to every taste at the touch of a button. It's the perfect coffee machine for coffee lovers who want that good, wide varieties of styles and sizes, but of course, the Nespresso quality coffee. So what is the Virtuo machine? Again, Virtuo uses an extraction system called centrifugation, and the capsules, Virtuo capsules, they have barcodes. So these black lines are barcodes for the machine. And this barcode will determine the 5 settings needed for the perfect extraction. And these are the 5 settings. So starting off with the cup size. Before I start with the parameters, you see the Virtuo, they have only one button on the machine. But how can it do 7 different sizes of coffees? It's because of that barcode. So you don't have to click like espresso or carafe on the machine. It does it automatically. And basically the cup size will determine, as I mentioned, the quantity of water you'll get. So let's say an espresso capsule, it'll bring down 40 milliliters. Compared to a carafe, it'll be how many milliliters?
535.
535. And what would be a Grand Longo size? Nicole?
Sorry, can you say that again?
So what would be the Grand Longo size for the Virtual range?
For the Virtual range, 230 ml,
So that's the regular cup. One smaller than that would be
150.
150 for the Grand Longo, exactly. So it's going to determine exactly this size automatically. And then the temperature. So the temperature of the machine, usually the water is going to go up to 83 to 87 degrees. It's not a temperature that's going to be burning hot. So it's not boiling, but it's hot enough to be called, of course, a hot coffee. But it's depending the size and the flavor of the coffee you put, it's going to determine the perfect temperature. The reason why I say this, imagine a coffee that's already highly torrefied. What's a torrefication in Switzerland? Basically, when they grill the coffee bean. So they're going to cook it in essentially. And when they start cooking it, that aromas start appearing in that coffee bean. That's called the torrefication, which is the Nespresso, well, in the coffee term in general. And when they do it at a very high temperature, the grill of that coffee bean is going to be stronger, which also means the flavor of that coffee is more intense. So if the torrefication is already done at a high temperature, here, if you extract it again at a high temperature, it's basically gonna burn the coffee bean. So we don't want to reach that burning point. We want it to be hot, but not super boiled. So that's why the the temperature here inside the machine, it would be less. So around 83 degrees. Compared to a coffee that's torrefied at a very light temperature for a lighter coffee taste, then the temperature here, you have the space to make it a bit more hotter. So it's really depending on that coffee flavor. I like when a client tells me, hey, like some of the coffees I put inside the machine, it's less strong than others, or less intense than others, or less hot than others. And I know the reason, like this is the perfect argument, and it even actually impresses the client if you explain this in a more detailed way of the technology. And then the infusion time. So again, an espresso size would be probably 30 seconds to 40 seconds. Compared to a carafe, it would probably take a minute and a couple of seconds. Flow. So that's the speed you're going to get of that water inside your capsule. The faster it flows, the less strong that coffee is going to be. The slower it takes and it absorbs each coffee bean, that means the coffee is going to be a bit more stronger as well. And finally, you have the rotational speed. Who can tell me what was it? Oops, sorry. What was the rotational speed?
Like 100. No, I didn't catch that. I thought
Maurice?
Good aroma.
Siddharth, do you remember?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. No.
It starts with a 7? No? Okay, it's 7,000 turns per minute. So imagine, okay, that capsule is rotating inside that machine 7,000 rotations per minute. That's basically faster than a car. It's immense amount of technology. It's also for 19 bars pressure, just to give you another comparison for the original range, usually firefighters use a 20 bar pressure for their machines. So it's immense amount of pressure inside that machine. So especially for the Virtuo, at the same time you're getting that pressure system inside the machine, you also get that centrifugation. So it's going to create that crema with an even thicker volume of crema inside that coffee. Any questions for the technologies? All right. So let's continue with our Aerochino 3 machine. So this is our milk frother. And it's a very simple milk frother. It costs alone $80, so $79.99. And it's a machine that's very simple to use. So there's 3 options of milks you can do inside this machine, but you have only one button. So inside, like on the machine here, you have this button. If you click once, the button turns red. It starts frothing the milk while heating it for hot cappuccinos, lattes. So it's not going to make your coffee cold. If you want iced coffees, you hold the button 2 seconds. The button will turn blue. It starts frothing the milk without heating it, if you want to add it in a nice coffee. And inside the machine, you have the frother, which is magnetic. So that part is actually removable to even clean it up later on. But even before you add your milk, if you remove that part, you add your milk, click the close the lid, and then click on the hot button. It's just going to heat up your milk and not froth it. So just hot milk for your coffee. So there's 3 options: hot frothed milk, cold frothed milk, and just hot milk. And this machine should be washed by hand and not to put it in the dishwasher. So the reason why I'm showing you this is because our virtual machine comes with a milk frother already integrated inside the box. Okay, so the name of the machine that is given to clients is Virtual Next Premium Bundle. And it's the perfect coffee machine. It's the best seller. Like Virtual Next standard colors are the best sellers. This is not even the standard color. This is the most luxurious Virtual Next we have. So it's surrounded with metal. It's a very nice looking machine. Inside that machine, so first of all, the machine itself, it's a more of a length machine. So the water container and capsule container, it doesn't take much size on your counter. It's more on the length. So the water container is completely in the back, and the capsule container is right over here. You see there's a little spot where you can just open it, the capsule container on the left side, and throw it out. You can always remove it and put it back. In person, it's going to show better, of course. And the machine itself, it's more than $250. Only the machine. The milk frother alone is $80. And not only that, you also get 2 boxes of coffee. So you get 1 Melozio, Melozio is the most average balanced coffee you can get. It's a regular coffee, medium intensity, with a biscuity aroma. And you have the Stormio, which is a more rich, strong intensity coffee we have. And these 2 boxes alone, it would cost around $22. Per capsule, it's around $1.29. Usually it's virtual capsule, they're around $0.88 to $1.60 for carafe options. So these are regular coffee, 230 milliliters. And inside the machine also, you get a box of 12 various coffee capsules. So there's a mix of different flavors the client can try. It's 4 espressos, 2 double espressos, 2 Grand Longos here, and then 4 regular coffee options. And even on top of that box, you have a full description on each capsule and how to the aromas and how to describe it, etc. And plus, not only that, you get a coffee credit included inside the machine. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's $25 or $30. I think it's 25 for the virtual. But it's basically for the first coffee purchase, they can get free coffee for their first big purchase. So all of this technically would cost more than $429. Costco sells it at $200. Like more than 50% off. It's the best deal you could ever find of any Nespresso machine. It's the perfect machine. Like if I didn't have a machine myself, I would have bought this so fast. And plus, this basically is a duration of promo. So it's going to change, right? And the stock you have in that Costco, it's limited. And you won't be there for very long. So it is very important we mentioned that, like, you don't have a lot of time to think. Once you're there, buy the machine, think about it at home. You can always return it. But that price and that model will finish. And it's been not even 2 weeks the program started, and there's already some Costco's that have so much little stock. Like for example, they only have original machines left. The virtuals have all been finished, and they're waiting for our like the person that handles Costco. They're waiting for them to send more machines. So it's called the coordinator, basically. But it's very important. We mentioned this to clients. You don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of stock, and it's first come, first grabs, obviously. And please keep count of each machine you sell. So technically, it's going to be discussed more with your manager, but I know for Nicole, Eric asks at the end of each shift to talk to Costco manager to ask a list of all the sales you did of the machines. So one original and one virtual. They can show it as an online list, or they can show it as a paper printed list. That has to be taken a picture, and that's going to be the proof of how many sales you did. But for Sit Hard, I'm not too sure how Diane is working with that. So she might ask you to submit all your sales through Repsly, even though Nicole is going to do that at the same time, or depending on what the procedure is at that time.
All right. Yeah, I'll talk with my manager on that.
Perfect. So yeah, do we understand this price? Do we understand the value of how much stuff you're getting for $200? Are you okay with this? Okay, perfect. And on the side of the box, you'll also have the sizes of coffees written down as well, the things you get inside the box, and the credit is going to be written down right on top here. Now, on like the old version of the box, it was $20. Now I think it should be 25, but I'm not too sure. So I want to show you guys a video on how to use the virtual technology and the virtual machine. So I'll start the video right now, okay? Nicole, you okay? Okay, perfect. So you can always stop the quantity of coffee and add it more later on if you like. If you ever forget a cup, which I've done many, many times, you can always click on the button to stop so you won't have to clean up a mess later on. Any questions for how to take care of the machine or how to use? So the water container, you can always remove it. The capsule container is also removable. You can always clean up the water tank, capsule tank, and the cup holder to make sure that there's no coffee drips or it's fully clean for the clients as well. Any questions? Okay, perfect. So let's move on to our original machine. So this is called our Cities machine. And it's an espresso cities coffee machine. The machine itself, it's very elegant looking, as you can already see. So it's a technically it's a very sophisticated, very compact original machine. You get everything again on the length. So the water container is completely in the back, and the capsule container is hidden inside here. So you have to pull this cup holder to be able to open it. There's two levels. So there's you can put simple espressos here, or this part is foldable. So if you put it up, you'll put a bigger cup size on the counter itself, on the base of the machine. And the machine itself is $320. Inside the box, there's already 7 different mixed capsules, again, of different flavors, different intensities. Costco sells it at $189.99. So again, a very, very amazing promotion. I guess I can say it's less popular than the Virtual Next just because Virtual Next, you get all of that bundle inside your box. Plus, you get more coffee options, but this is more of the classic model. So it doesn't technically, it's never gonna, for clients who love only espressos, this is a perfect machine because you get more than 40 options of flavors only in short espresso sizes coffees. For the virtual range, you get again more than 35, 40 flavors of coffees, but they're more divided into different sizes. So you get a couple of espressos, like 8 espresso sizes. You get like not sizes, but more intensity, sorry. Double espresso, you get around 4 sizes, 4 flavors. Grand Longos would be around 5 flavors. Regular coffee options would be around 10, 12 flavors. And Carafe would be 2 options. Alto would be around 3 options as well. But like it's more divided, as you can already see. Again, keep in mind you always have to count how many you sell throughout the day. So I'm showing you this machine because as a tutorial, because you might also have later on in the program this coffee machine that's going to be added to your machine options. Right now it's not, but it's called the Essenza Mini. I'm not too sure of the promotion you get or the bundle you get, but it's the smallest machine you could ever find on the Nespresso machine ranges we have. So they're around 2-3 kilos, perfect for transportation, for small offices, for little spaces like small kitchens, etc. So I'll show you guys this video on how to take care also. So for example, the Cities machine, it's just a bigger version of it, so it's more taller, and water container is bigger, capsule container is bigger, and the color of the machine as well, it's more like elegant, like it's more metal looking, it's nicer looking with different settings compared to the Essenza. I think you'll have only the black color if I'm not mistaken. And at Nespresso, we also sell virtual Starbucks. So not at Nespresso. I need a coffee. At Costco, I'm sorry. At Costco, we sell virtual Starbucks capsules. So this is another option the clients will get as a coffee option if they're looking to buy more options for their first coffee purchase. But the taste of this coffee is Starbucks coffee. So yes, the mechanism of the machine stays the same. Yes, you get that crema even though it's a Starbucks coffee, but the quality, the taste is a Starbucks taste. The aluminum itself is created by Nespresso, but the inside is Starbucks. So we should never display it on our kiosks or our counters, but it's an option the client gets. If a client asks, hey, where can I buy Nespresso capsules? Or where can I buy more capsules? You first say you have the Nespresso boutiques, you have the whatever, like the options I'll give you guys later on. And then if you really need coffees right now today with me, you can always buy these capsules, which are Starbucks coffees that can be entered into your Nespresso machine. All right. Any other questions? We're good. Okay. So let's continue with our tasting protocols. So what we are there to do is to convert Costco members to the Nespresso portfolio. We do that through our brand experience. We offer exclusive tasting and brand knowledge to help build our customer base. When traffic is low, use tastings to draw customers into Nespresso demo area. So your area, your kiosk usually will be right in front of your row. And it's very easy. Like usually customers, when they're gonna walk, they're gonna look at each row, right? And you'll be there. So it is very important as soon as you make that eye contact with that person, you invite them for a coffee. And when traffic is busy, use tastings to close sales. So when it's more low, attract people, but once usually people start coming, there's a full bunch of customers coming. So I prefer doing that like as a full package presentation, just because you technically do less job at the end. You don't have to repeat yourself over and over. If you have many clients in front of you, then you just have to present it once while you're pouring the coffees. And usually they even influence each other. If one person goes for a machine, the other ones will also go for a machine. And when traffic is busy, use tastings as an option to close sales. So you can focus on the representation of Nespresso. You can focus on the subject, the machine, the bundle, the price, all these details. But if a client is interested to try, of course, we're there to be able to prove ourselves of the knowledge we're discussing to clients with a tasting. So that's going to be tasting is believing sort of thing. And there's 8 Nespresso coffees that will be available for tastings. Sugar, milk is provided. Any extra products is also provided. You will technically have to mark off all the things you need in your recipe report for any extra stock you will do. And reminder, all coffees need a lid. So when you're finishing a coffee, make sure you add your lid on top of that cup and even your sleeve, and then give it to clients. And important, have fun and be prepared to demonstrate in front of a crowd. Like I mentioned, it's better you demonstrate in front of a crowd than you repeat yourself 50 different times. And invite the customer to experience Nespresso by offering a tasting. Ensure the customer agrees to the tasting, and and reassure them of all health and safety measures. You don't technically have to say health and safety measures to each customer you do tasting, but if they do doubt or if they have questions, you can like reassure them. But make sure you agree, like the client agrees, yes, I want a tasting, and then you make coffee. Don't force them, of course, if they say no. And you are to only operate Nespresso coffees and machines. So you will have customers wanting to touch your machine, which at the end, we're not going to slap on the wrist, but it's very important. We use, because we have gloves and we want to protect, like for protocols for health and safety measures, all extra bacteria, all bad bacteria that can affect the quality of coffee. So we technically have 2 extra machines as demos, one for the Pixie, one for the Cities, and one for the Virtuo Next, as an option for the client to be able to touch those machines in front of their Nespresso stock. But the machines we have for tastings will be only used by us. And take this opportunity to show the features that the customer has shown the most interest in. So the things you think are very small details, for customers, it's a wow, like observation. For example, that it's how easy it is to operate. So simply putting a capsule, clicking on the button, and putting a cup underneath the machine is not foundable usually any other coffee brand. And even though you open your machine later on, that capsule falls automatically in that capsule container, which gets ejected by that capsule container later on with that recyclable facility we have. So all these details have a big role to play in the reason where the client might buy a machine. Other brands, usually the client has to touch the capsule, open the coffee separately, compost it, and recycle it in the recycling bin. So I'm sure a lot of clients don't do that extra steps just because it takes a lot of time. Compared to Nespresso, we offer a recyclable solution to clients, where we'll discuss more later on. And all these does save a lot of step and a lot of time to clients. And the adjustable cup holder, so where you put your cup, it's movable. So you can put it more up for a smaller cup, so it's closer to the extraction hole where it doesn't do a full mess of coffee. Or for the Cities machine, you can fold that cup holder to put a bigger cup. So show that to clients. And the used capsule dispenser. And of course, the water tank, you can always remove and put it back. And after properly having access to customers' coffee drinking habits, present the coffee you think would be better fit in their taste. The most important step of your conversation with a client is asking them the questions necessary to know exactly what coffee you can offer. If you offer them a coffee according to what you like and what the client likes, maybe the client might not like the coffee, and they're probably going to have a bad experience of Nespresso. It's going to be the bad impression of the brand just because it's not their favorite coffee. Let's say they tell you, I really love like very light coffees, but you offer them the strongest coffee we have, it's not going to be the best option, right? So it is very important you ask the questions, you know exactly what coffee you're going to offer, and then give them at least 2 choices so the client can choose. And guide the customer throughout the entire coffee preparation. So it's step by step what you're doing, say it at the same time. Don't just do it because you already know what the procedure is, right? Like, for example, putting the barcode around the capsule, or closing the machine. You have to lock it with 2 hands and then put the cup, press on the button, explain it to the clients what you're doing. And ask the consumer if they would like milk or sugar, and add appropriate amounts for them. I usually let the client try a black coffee first and then adjust with milk and sugar. A lot of clients that usually go for milk and sugar, they'll usually love Nespresso coffee black. An example, I usually go at breakfast places. I can't stand the coffee black there. Like I really need to add 5 milks and 4 sugars to be able to drink a sip of a coffee. But Nespresso actually has an amazing aroma, has an amazing flavor, and has so many options of all different clienteles. So it's best you can try just the coffee black and then adjust it. Like I mentioned before, place lid and sleeve on the cup after every preparation. So it is very important. So if the client ever drops the coffee somewhere, there's not a full spill and it doesn't create problems in Costco. And place the prepared cup on the station and invite the customer to enjoy their coffee. So when you're finishing a coffee, put it on your kiosk and the client can take it from there. Don't give it directly in their hands just because again it prevents any other health and safety protocols, problems or, messes. Tell customers they're getting the best deal and create urgency by mentioning we are only there for a short period of time. You should tell this to every customer. The price and the urgency and the word quality of coffee. That should be mentioned in every conversation. Clean station and machine after every coffee demo. So after every demonstration you do, make sure you clean off. You take a disinfectant spray with a paper towel and you clean off the machine. Just in case if you turn your head, someone has touched the machine or whatever, it's properly cleaned. So a general conversation. So for example, engagement, it could be like an introduction, like greet Costco member in a warm and approachable tone. Remember, a smile goes a long way. So they'll be again feeding off that energy. The more you smile, the more you are positive, the more you are there and you're servable and you're punctual and you're ready to help. Customers will see that and they'll see how you're making that effort and they'll feed off that energy once again. And you can start with, hello, my name is Alik, and I am an espresso coffee advisor. What brings you here today at Costco? Or what can I do for you here today? That creates that good open-ended question. And the client might say, I'm here just for grocery stopping. But at the same time, they'll say, oh, actually, I had a question for an espresso. And, they start a conversation. Are you looking for an amazing deal? Yes? Well, let me introduce you to the Nespresso line of coffee machine. So, like creating that fun interaction with the customer. It's really preferable on what you like as an introduction. And we have a few capsules here. I would like for you to try one while I show you how simple the Nespresso machine is to use. By offering them a demonstration, it gives you an opportunity to continue the engagement with the member. Prep questions. Before you start their coffee, ensure you ask them their coffee preferences. So I guess some of the questions you can write down, it would be the base questions. What, where, how, when, who. Who, what, when, how, where. So who drinks coffee at your house? Is it only yourself or do you drink with many other people at your house? Let's say there are two to drink coffee. You would like to accommodate to those two peoples, not only the person in front of you. Or let's say there are five to drink coffees. Maybe a big water container would be the best solution. Maybe the Citis or a Senza machine would be a less popular machine because they have to fill the water tank more. Or maybe they would like the Virtuo Next more just because it has the carafe version, which they can divide in the mornings. Creating that knowledge in front of them. And then what coffee do you usually go for? So do you go for espressos? Do you go for regular coffee sizes? Do you go for cappuccinos? What aromas do you go for? Like stronger aromas, more lighter aromas, more fruity aromas? From what country do you take your coffee from? Just creating that, knowing what coffee they like. And then where or when or how many times you drink your coffee throughout the day. Let's say they would say, I drink my coffee at work once a day. Maybe they don't have a good machine at home. Or maybe they drink their coffee once in the morning, but they're very tired throughout the day, so they want another coffee machine for their work. Or maybe they take their coffee at throughout their route to work. So that automatically qualifies $2-3 minimum for a coffee. I'm not even going to start with Starbucks. So it does create that big budget for each year. So yes, you can invest in an espresso machine. It's going to cost you a couple of $100s, not even 200. But throughout time, you'll be saving a lot of money while you're getting that quality coffee and that options of flavors. So who, what coffee, where, or when, or what systems you already have at your house if they didn't already answer it. So if they already have a coffee machine, is it more of an espresso drinker coffee machine? Is it, do you already have instant coffee, or depending on what they have and accommodating to that need. Do we have any questions for these open-ended questions? Are they clear? So who, what, where, how, when? What are 3 of the questions you can ask?
Oh, we can ask like who in their family is drinking coffee.
What kind of coffee they have, and where do you get your coffee, like Starbucks or everywhere?
What type of coffee do you drink? Or who drinks coffee, like you mentioned? Yeah, very important. Great. And yeah, so once you've acquired their preferences, you can now suggest which coffee they should try. And then the demonstration process. So now that you have that coffee set up to be brewed, you can start to talk about the key benefits of Nespresso and the brand. So again, the key factors you should mention, for example, coffee is perfectly proportioned with the highest quality of coffee, which ensures you get the perfect cup of coffee every time. Sustainability part of it. So the capsules are fully recyclable and compostable, and it's in our brand DNA. Talk about the procedure on how they could recycle, and smart and easy to use machines. So the technology involved in each machine, you should always mention to customers what are the differences between original and virtual. A lot of the times they think they know the machine they want, but they end up buying something completely different. So always give them the option, and then they can, sometimes it's obvious, but it's important. And finally, the B Corp certification, which also includes the AAA program as well. And closing the sale. So after you make your coffee, after you explain all these, inform the client on where to purchase Nespresso capsules, and talk about the Nespresso after sale services, so warranty, Nespresso customer services, and Nespresso boutique. And finally, talk about the limited time offer we are currently promoting. Any questions? Okay, I'm just seeing how many. Okay, I'll continue with around 7-8 more slides, and then I'll give you guys a short break. Okay. So we have 5 virtual capsules available for tastings. So starting at, like I said, at Nespresso, you have more than 35 options. So including more limited edition flavors that become even more later on. So limited editions are usually like holiday flavored. And right now, the most popular is the pumpkin spice cake flavor, which is a pumpkin spice flavor coffee. Or throughout summer, we had the iced coffee options. Throughout winter, we have more of an almond croissant flavor, like last year, or anything else, And then the Melozio coffees, it's an intensity 6 on a scale. So virtual goes on a scale up to 11. Oh, sorry. Okay. So virtual goes up to scale on 11. And then let's say an 11 on 11, it would be much more of a stronger coffee than an intensity 6 or 4 on 11. Original goes up to 14. So virtual Melozio capsule is the most balanced coffee we have, and it's an intensity 6 on an intensity of 11, and it's more of a biscuity and cereal note. Compared to Costa Rica, it's a Grand Longo, which is 150 milliliters. And it's a full-bodied with mellow flavor, and it's an intensity 7 on 11, and it's more of a malted and sweet cereal note. And the Melozio decaffeinato, it's like the Melozio regular, but decaffeinated. Our procedure of decaf is fully natural. It's done with the called method Swiss, the Swiss method. It's simply done with water. There's no chemicals. I talk too much. Okay. Sweet and smooth, like I said, it's like the same Melozio aroma, but decaf version. And then you have the maple pecan, which is my personal favorite. It's more of a sweeter maple and richness of coffee flavor. And it's balanced with cereal aromas like coffee-based notes. And the aromas are again fully natural. Like we infuse oxygen bubbles from certain plants that resemble to the coffee taste you imagine. So it's with no allergens. And then you have the Stormio. So it's a perfect breakfast blend. There's a mistake here. It's not supposed to be 4 on 14 on 11. It's 8 on 11. Intensity 8. So it's much more of a stronger and more richer note. This is the strongest virtual coffee we have. And then we have the original capsules. So we have 3 options. Ristretto, which is technically suggested you click on the 40 milliliter button, because on the original machines, you have 2 buttons. Espresso, actually no, technically the Essenza, for example, you usually have 2 buttons, but the Citis machine, you actually have 5 buttons. You have an espresso, a double espresso, just hot water. You have, I think, the regular Americano, and then you have an XL Americano, which is basically a regular cup size. This is a special option as an original machine. Okay. So depending on the size the client wants, it will be more discussed with you the day of your first shift. You can click on the button, but you have 3 aromas. So this is the strongest, this is medium, and then this is the lightest aroma. Ristretto, it's more of a powerful and constructing flavor. Arpeggio would be more of an intense but creamier version of Ristretto. And then Colombia, it's more of a fruity and balanced aroma. It's not an intensity 6. It's an intensity 5. I'm sorry. Okay. So we can only open 1 sleeve at a time for each blend. And you should always let the first sleeve finish before you open the second sleeve of coffee. Coffees come always in a box of 10. So if the client wants 1 flavor, it will always come in a box of 10. The only time they get a mix is the first time they buy a machine, they'll get inside the machine that mix of boxes. So for the original, it's 12 capsules, and for the Virtuo, it's 12 capsules, and the original, it's 7 different capsules. And especially the Alto and Carafe sizes for the Virtuo, you get 7 capsules inside the boxes. Because the sizes of the capsules, they're much bigger. So the size of the box, they wanted to keep the same, so there's 7. Behind the box, you get the date of expiration. So this date, of course, should be not expired. When you're opening a new box, make sure you check the date. And even though there's only 1 capsule left, you must use that one before opening a new sleeve. And once you're opening a new sleeve, open it from this date of expiration, because not only you have to rip out this from the box and slide it in the Ziotang, the folder we give you in your stock for you to keep date of expiration till it's finished. That box, basically, just in case a client comes and tells you, hey, like, I've been sick, I need a date that it's not expired, there's a proof to show. But you'll never get a client like that, because technically Nespresso coffee doesn't expire. But basically, here, when you're opening it from this side of the box, you get a tab where you can close it after. so it's easier to stay organized. Yeah. So always keep this little tab in the dew tank till you finish the first box, and then when you're opening the second one, switch. And fill the water jugs and machine water containers in the Costco employee room and not in the washroom. So you can you can ask the Costco employees where they keep usually where there's the employee's kitchen. It's usually downstairs, so you can go fill it up. And be sure to place an "I'll be right back" sign on your boot before leaving to refill your water jug. You will always have an extra bigger water jug where that could be filled. Like you don't have to bring your Nespresso water jugs. You can just bring that bigger tank and fill up, keep it in your kiosk. And please note, recycling will be province dependent. So I think both of you guys have access to red recyclability bags. Quebec, they use a green bag, so it's different. We have 3 bags, okay? I'll give you guys what and how you can recycle it. In Quebec, it's a green bag. Each time the client buys coffee in any different way, so it could be at the Nespresso boutique, it could be with the Nespresso order. I'm talking only Nespresso coffee. They'll be delivered these bags for free, depending on where they at, okay? Green bag is for Quebec. So when the bag is filled with the capsules, it's basically like a Ziploc for any other extra bag as well. You just have to close like a Ziploc. There's a sticker. You have to remove that sticker and lock it completely so it's not going to open again. And for Quebec, you just throw it in your recycling bin. That's it. For the rest of Canada, you usually have the red bag. So you guys, I think you might have the red bag. When the bag is filled, especially for the client, they have to bring it on the Canada Post. Or there's even pickup options. So you can leave it in front of your house and Nespresso, they take it back from your porch. But I'd suggest you guys, if a client asks, hey, I'm not too sure like what recyclability system I have in my area, on the Nespresso site, if you write recyclability solution in my area, you will find exactly the procedure on what color bag you have and how you recycle it later on. Because in Ontario and like, for example, BC and Vancouver, you have the black bag. And a couple of regions in Ontario, there's a black bag as well. Like I said, the black bag, when it's filled, you have to bring it to Nespresso. So one of the Nespresso boutiques or one of the partners, depending on what area you're at. But for you guys as tastings, you won't have these bags available for customers. So what we have as bags, we can't give them to clients, okay? With their first purchases later on, they'll have the bags automatically delivered with their order. Once our bag is filled, you have to leave it on the pallet we have for critical path to handle the bags, the recyclability solutions later on. So you don't have to bring it to Canada Post yourself. Critical Path does it for you. And dispose the used capsules in the red recyclability bags. And you must empty the garbage at end of every shift. I'd ask Costco if they can give me a bigger garbage, just so I don't have to throw out a mini garbage bin that Nespresso has provided every single middle of shift as well. And drop the garbage in the Costco garbage bin, typically somewhere in the warehouse area. And for tastings, make sure to review inventory after your Monday shift and report the number of coffee, spoons, sugars, and other supplies not on NDT, on Repsly. Write it down somewhere so you don't forget. It's not on NDT. So stock should be ordered through Repsly. And make sure to offer customers different coffee options and not to focus on only one specific coffee. Ensure you are comfortable enough with inventory to offer coffee you have in stock. So don't offer coffee that you have zero in stock. And always give them choices just so you don't finish one capsule first and then throughout the whole weekend you don't have the rest of that full boxes left, right? Give them variety so you have coffees left over for the full weekend. And supplies will automatically be ordered and sent with an espresso kit that will be waiting for you for your next station. So you guys will be working a couple of stores. So the skid of where we keep our Nespresso products will be sent out to the next location for you. So end of day shift protocols. At first, don't forget empty machine containers, the water tanks, and make sure you clean and empty the machines and used capsule containers. Basically, the best of my explanation, the machine should look like it's not been used, like it's brand new. So there's no extra coffee stains, there's no water stains, everything is dry. There's no grains of coffees, everything is clean, okay? And empty and clean machine drip trays, wipe down the demo station and the machines, drop garbage in the Costco warehouse garbage bin, leave red recycling bags on pallet and send it to critical path. Once the bag is full, don't throw out the bag at the end of the day if there's 4 capsules recycled. And this scale demo machines before repacking Nespresso machines at the end of each wave. So when you finish that store, you have to do the scaling procedure to clean up the interior mechanism of the machine before it's sent to the next location. So I'll show you guys this video, and I'm gonna show you guys the video. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna go fill up my water because my throat is dry. Actually, you know what? I'll show you guys this video and then you can go on your break automatically. So we'll come back at 3:15. Okay. So it's really the descaling procedure. I'll also send this video in the chat. You can keep it and have access to it when you're actually doing the descaling procedure, because I don't expect for you to remember all these steps now. And the last hour completely you'll be doing at the last shift of that store, of that location. Start your closure the last hour of your shift, just to make sure you finish the scaling procedure. That usually takes around 20 minutes to do. Both machines, of course, and at the same time, everything is cleaned up, the skid is fully packed, and you're ready to go. Okay. So I'll start the video, and then once it finishes, you guys can go on your break. Please confirm if you see the video before I go. All right. Okay, perfect. Do we have any questions for this video specifically? No? Okay, perfect. I sent you guys in the chat. I don't know if you guys saw. First, this video. Second, my email. If you guys want to write it down, any questions you guys have, please feel free to reach out. And third, the site. Sorry, I just ran up the stairs. Uh, the recyclability program. So if a client asks what's the solution I have in my area, you'll be able to add the postal code and get the solution they have in their area. All right, perfect. So let's continue with our services. So these are the 4 ways to get access to Nespresso capsules. At first, it's an Espresso boutique in person. So they can simply go in person, taste different flavors of coffee, get a full experience with a customer advisor. The experience they have, it's completely different than any other experience they have at any other coffee shops. That's why we call ourselves a boutique. It's not a regular store. So it's a full experience we want to give. It's always making sure we use the different senses of the client to involve all of their experience. So it could be smelling the aromas, it could be seeing the different capsules or seeing the crema, tasting, touching the different coffee, the heat, the capsules itself, and the machines as demonstrations, hearing you talk. So all of this is very important. And finally, the application. So with Nespresso.ca, they can order it at their house or any other location if they're working, let's say sometimes outside of their house, or online versions, or so application would be an Nespresso application on their phone. Online would be Nespresso.ca. And finally, customer service. So they can call customer service on the phone itself. They can do their order. And for delivery, so delivery is technically standard, but it's super quick. If you order your capsules before 4:00 p.m. at night, you get your coffee delivered the next day. If you order after 4:00, your coffee is delivered in 48 hours. Imagine how quick and easy it is to get access to Nespresso capsules. And some clients, believe me, they still complain. They still say, like it's difficult to get access to Nespresso coffee. They just have to order it. And you can just say, like, this is the method I prefer because I don't even have to leave my house. The coffee is delivered to my house for free, but the client has to order a minimum of $75 to get the free delivery. So it's understandable where sometimes they don't want to order more like $75. But at the same time, if you think about it, like the reason why they put that minimum 75 is for the client to not order each week one box delivered to their house. It wouldn't be the most efficient and ecologically friendly way. So to limit the order, and at the same time, like who wants to think of ordering coffee each week? Like you order once a month and like it's good for the rest of the month. And finally, tracking and traceability. So if you can't find your order or if you lost or if something happened, you can always look it up where it is. If you order less than $75, you can still order, but you have to pay a fee of $9. Technically $8.95. And for pickup options, so for people who, let's say, don't want to wait 75, no, sorry, let's say they don't want to wait 48 hours for delivery, they can put the order, pay online, but the address, instead of putting their house, they put at an Nespresso boutique. So it's usually ready in maximum 4 hours. So you'll get back an email saying it's ready and you just have to pick it up. It's already paid. So they just say their name and the order is ready. If not, the post office. So for people, let's say, who work outside of their house and they don't want to take the risk to leave their coffee order delivered in front of their porch, they can put it at a post office and pick it up from nearest to their house. If not, some Nespresso boutiques also have the curbside option. So basically, the client drives up to the Nespresso boutique, they stay in their car, and the coffee advisor comes outside with their order and gives up in their car. Only some boutiques have this. And finally, customer care. So if the order, let's say, has been made, there has been like, a problem with their order came completely destroyed because of delivery, or, it was drenched because of rain, something like really bad happened, their order, they can always go back to Nespresso, return it. They have 14 days to do so. And there's also the machine assistance and general services with customer service. I promise you guys, customer service, it's the best way to go. If they have any questions, if they have problems with any Nespresso problems, anything else, call customer service. Like, they have the most amazing and quickest service. Let's say, oh, also I didn't mention before, well, I would have mentioned later on. For customers, they have a 1-year warranty with Nespresso directly. So if they have any problems with their order, with their machine, if the machine they opened, it came broken or something bad happened, they have that 1-year warranty with Nespresso. But since they're buying their machine at Costco, the warranty of Costco is even better than Nespresso's warranty. So they have, I think, a 1-year warranty at Costco, but they can always do exchanges and returns as well. So if something happens, I think I just want to make sure before I give you guys what I'm thinking. Give me a second. Costco. Let's chat GPT this question. Okay, so it's actually not even 1 year, it's 2 years warranty.
I just have a question.
Go ahead, yes.
So when they purchase the machine, does it already comes with the warranty, or do they have to purchase it separately?
No, it comes with the warranty automatically.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, since they're buying it at a Costco, they can always return and exchange if the machine, let's say, breaks throughout the 2 years. And yeah, I told you guys everything. Okay. And these bags. So now, how can we get access to these bags? Who can tell me how do we get access, and how do we recycle? How do we get access to these bags, first of all?
From what I remember, the red bag, it's just you put it in the pallet, and they're gonna recycle it on their own.
So that's only for you.
Yeah.
Or the demonstration capsules, exactly. But what the client do with the bag when the bag is filled with their used capsules?
The clients actually need to like send it back in. So either to like one of like the depot places, or like mail it back in.
That's for what color bag?
Like the red one.
So the red is Canada Post. Remember, just like Canada Post box, it's red. So the red bag would be bringing it back at a Canada Post, throwing it one of the boxes. The black bag would be bringing it back to one of the Nespresso boutiques or one of the partners. And for Quebec, what will be the solution here? You guys don't remember Quebec? Come on.
Boutiques only.
So they just have to bring it at any recycling bin. So if they're at their house, they just recycle it in their recycling bin.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't expect you guys to use that procedure anyways, but it's just to know if a client is, let's say, traveled all the way to across Canada to buy an espresso machine, you have an explanation for that. So are we clear? So green bag. How do we recycle it?
Recycling.
Any recycling bin. Red
Canada Post.
and black.
Boutiques and
So like
apartments.
One of the apartments. Exactly. Very good. And how do we get access to these bags?
Do we online? Do we ask for it online?
Or
We could ask someone in Costco. That one.
like you can go to the boutique.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How are the 4 ways to get access to Nespresso capsules? How
Either
do we
like
buy
buy
Nespresso
it,
coffee?
so we can like buy it online, buy it like in the boutiques, at like retail stores like Costco.
That's Starbucks capsules.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I didn't mention that basically Nespresso coffee are only sold the 4 areas I showed you before, but outside of that, like grocery stores will be only Starbucks capsules. We don't sell any other Nespresso coffee from Nespresso's brand, any extra locations. Except if the
Okay.
client buys from Amazon or other resources where it's not even Nespresso's.
Okay.
So we said online for Nespresso capsule. There's the Nespresso boutiques. What else?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of online, what's another option to get?
Amazon.
So I gave I shouldn't have given you that, guys. That basically it's another option the client gets if, like, I guess they don't want to buy it from Nespresso, but it's not the best solution because the promotion, like a lot of times it's resellers and they sell it at much more higher price to get profit off of that. So it's not the solution. That would be like you will have maybe customers telling you, "Oh, I buy my capsules from Amazon," but it's not the right way.
Could they not also like call and then buy it? Place an order,
Exactly.
calling. Okay.
With customer service, very good. And instead of doing it with Nespresso.ca, there's another option. If you don't want to go use a site, you can use the
Like pickup service.
application, the Nespresso application on their phone.
Okay.
Okay, so repeat again. At first, the Nespresso boutique application. Instead of application, the online Nespresso.ca store, or by customer service. By call. What's the minimum of coffee order they have to do to get a free delivery?
$75.
$75.
Exactly. Amazing. Perfect. So any questions?
Not right now.
All right, great. So let's continue with our Costco protocols. So these are the most important things, again, I'm mentioning with you guys. First of all, health and safety protocols. It's very important that we keep maintaining a clean, safe, and professional environment that is essential to uphold our company standards. As part of your role, you are expected to adhere to the following guidelines. So some of the protocols are hygiene and safety rules. So first, the beer net must be worn at all times. Only for people who have beards, so that would be Siddharth. And gloves and aprons must be removed before going their washroom break or bathroom break or regular break. Sorry. And once you're going on that bathroom break, this little signage behind that signage, you will have like a paper where you can put break, like coming back in 15 minutes. And always change gloves after each bathroom break or any extra break, or if you're touching like your skid or your other services around Costco, like if you went out, walked around somewhere, you touched things, and then you came back, change your gloves. So when you arrive, like I mentioned before, you should always have the food handling certification. Nicole, does this look like what you have as a picture? Your mic is on mute.
I'm stuck on the Costco protocols. I can't go.
Ah, you might have a button near you if you want to give me access, like to the presenter access to take control.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
If you click on that, it's gonna show the slides I'm showing.
I see it.
Perfect.
It's not that.
It's not like that.
No.
Mm.
Got it when I was doing a culinary. I took like they told me to like take it online, but it's like a different type of certificate, like the basic certificate would
I
handle.
get it. I get it. I get it. Okay. Yeah, again, I'd say maybe suggest double check with Eric even before you go in your field. Maybe I'd say text
Yeah.
him today. He'll call you after this training anyways, technically. He'll give you guys a call. Even Sid Hart, you'll get a call by Diane after this training. All right, so food handling certification, you must always carry it with you while working in a Costco store and be prepared to present it upon request by Costco or CDS, the sampling company at Costco employees. So it's basically a separate sector where Nespresso has. It's an area where it handles only the sampling part of Costco. So if you guys have any questions, like if you need extra beer nets or things like that, even though Nespresso sells, it already gives you all the products, you can contact them. And allergy sign, please ask a CDS employee if they can provide us with an allergy sign. You already have an allergy sign sent to you with your stock. Technically, that should be always put up in on your kiosk. So you might have like a Velcro where you can stick that allergy sign on your kiosk. And as a reminder, Nespresso coffee is free of any allergens. So for PPE, gloves, hairnets, and aprons should be worn. So gloves must be worn at all times when handling food, beverages, and equipment, must be changed frequently and be removed while using the washroom or retrieving inventory. Hairnets and beard nets must be worn at all times while working at the Nespresso booth to prevent contamination. And aprons are mandatory while working at the Nespresso booth to maintain proper hygiene standards. And you will have also on your apron your name tag, which your manager will give you. And for milk handling procedures, so we will provide the milk necessary for the amount of shifts you do throughout the weekend. But again, you can always stock up more if you need some through Repsly. Basically, it's stable shelf milk, so it doesn't need to be refrigerated, and it must be discarded after every 2 hours to maintain product freshness and safety rules. So once you're opening, like let's say you start your shift at 8:30, like clients start coming in and you want to try milk. Technically, you should open the first milk at 9, but if there's some earlier, it's okay too. After the 2 hours, so that means at 11 p.m., at 11 a.m., you should change the milk. So throw out the other one and bring out the new milk. And the milk supply must be calculated at 4 liters per day, 20 liters per week. So every 2 hours of your shift, you need 1 container of milk. That means if you're working 8 hours, you need 4 liters per milk because each milk container is 1 liter. And this is in line with the requirement to dispose that open milk every 2 hours. So for, yeah, like I said, when opening the milk container, write the time of opening using a Sharpie to ensure proper tracking. If you have a Sharpie laying around, you can use that from your home. You can bring it out, but you should have a pen if you don't have a Sharpie laid out with your stock. And milk is only served with VL coffee. Technically, you can always add in your original coffees if necessary, if the client asks. And average daily servings of VL coffee are 60 capsules. Average milk servings are 2 tablespoons per coffee. So like just 2 times as like don't fill up too much unless the client asks, basically. Can I continue? Yeah. And for kiosk setup, so I had a nice match retail moves differently sign here, but anyways, I don't know what happened here. But water jugs must always be placed on an elevated surface in the kiosk. So this is the water jug I was talking to you guys before. When you're filling up your water tank, you can use this instead of the smaller Nespresso tanks. And always put it on your kiosk and not on the floor, because it can be cracked, someone can tremble over, it could create a big mess. And never directly on the floor to meet quality control standards as well. And do not leave anything on the ground or on other Costco product pallets, so not on the Costco stocks as well. Even though it's your bag, even though it's your phone, do not put anything on the Costco products. And all materials must be put away in the boots at all times. So if you're taking a break, put up all your coffees, any extra stuff in your kiosk. Don't leave it all over, because people are going to think it's a self-serve. So they're going to try making coffee for themselves, even though there's no one there. And power cords must be securely in line with the skid. So we will give you power cords, which will be branched like somewhere around here where like there's a pole where they can keep the electricity nearby. So there's that cord, you can just elongate with that and plug it in on the wall. But please make sure to prevent tripping hazard. So no cord should be exposed where members walk. So here is where members walk. That means the cord can't be plugged on the other side of that kiosk. You know what I mean? Like when you're plugging it, plug it near the area you're at. Don't have cords all over the walking area. And garbage must be regularly monitored and disposed of. Please check with Costco manager if they can bring us a garbage bin nearby. So this is the bin we give you from Nespresso. You can use it for your own tastings as well, something to have near you. But like for big cups, like it's gonna fill up fast. So I'd suggest having a big bin, a Costco bin that can be placed on the other side of your kiosk. And demonstration area must be kept clean and tidy at all times. Wipes down surface, organize supplies, and present a professional appearance, right? If you must leave your kiosk, reasons for leaving the booth, it could be for different reasons. For example, filling water, getting more supplies, going on a break, on a bathroom break, etc. So when you're going on that break, like I mentioned, that side, right behind this, you're gonna have also other papers where this is the sign you should put up. Your Nespresso advisor will be back to assist you in 15 minutes. So this is the sign we're expecting. And put away any milk, Arancino cups, sugars, stir sticks, as well as capsules to hide the different clients. And let your managers know if you don't have Sorry, give me a sec. Okay. Let your managers know if you don't have this sign on your first Costco shift. And before leaving, clean your machines and booths, empty water tanks, empty the capsules from the machines into the Nespresso recycling bags. Make sure to leave the area cleaner than when you arrived. Mention to the manager sign your reports when we are back so that we have access to our skids and boots. And please put them away accordingly. to what they have been recommended. So talk to your first shift to your manager. If they tell you put the skid there, we're okay with that, great. If they tell you put it there, according to what they need. And always clean before you leave. Okay, for next steps, so your Thursday schedule, let's say to give you an idea, it will be from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Start that first shift, you're going to have an NDT report to submit with no sales, because that time doesn't require you to make sales, since there's no clients. This is only for reportings. So that report should be sent out empty. Okay, but it should always be signed off from the manager. So that's the installation. And from 9 a.m. where the customers actually start working, actually start coming in, till 4, it's the activation process. And then you should have the last 30 minutes for closure purposes. So putting back the kiosk at its place, cleaning up, throwing the trash, throwing the recycling capsules, etc. And for your Monday schedule, again, you should start your shift at 8 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. activation. And some Costco's, like I mentioned before, will probably ask you to tear down your boot before you go out to your 2 days off. So that will be done the last hour if it's asked from the Costco manager. Do we have any questions for these? We're good, okay. And the importance of Costco to match Nespresso. So Match Retail is the only agency that is allowed to do demos outside of Costco in-house agencies. It's important for us to give the best of ourselves. And Costco customers are club members. They pay to be there. They pay for a membership. So they are expecting a certain amount of servicing from you guys. And it is very important we have that professionalism, that respect towards the client. They understand the person. If they have something in mind, if they're worried about something, if they already had a bad experience, understand them first, let's say, and then give them the argument that you think is necessary to help them understand what is the method we look to. So thank you for saying that. I've had many clients telling me the same thing, or what I understand is you told me this, what I can tell you is, and then you continue with the answer you have. So for check-in, check-outs, that's going to be done on Repsly. That's the application you will be using to get paid, basically, essentially. So you should download Repsly, which I'll show you guys how to do later on. There's no wandering. So if you're going on a break, go directly outside. If you're coming in your shift, go directly to your kiosk. Don't wander around Costco. You're not there as a client. And for BC at Atlantic regions only, Siddharth, I think yourself, the first hour of your shift, you'll be putting a vest on. Costco will ask you to put a vest on, just so, because usually they have big tractors working inside, and they want to see you. They want you to be more visible. And for both of you guys, when you're walking around Costco, especially the first beginning of the shift, the first hour, 8 to 9 a.m., when they're moving around stock all over, they ask you to go to the sides of Costco. So when you're entering that shift, you have to do the full Costco tour to get access to the other side. You can't go in the middle of the areas of the rules. Okay. And no food. So you can't eat food throughout your shift. You can't also smoke. And with your Nespresso, my God, I forgot the word. With your Nespresso apron, thank you, apron, and you can drink water. Don't put your water on the kiosk. You can drink Nespresso. You can drink coffee, but only Nespresso coffee. So not any other coffee brand, because we don't want competitor coffee brands. and pretty self-explanatory, and no cell phones. So it is very important, and they're very strict on this, to not use your cell phone throughout your shift. Okay, they're very, very strict on this. Technically, they have connections to your managers as well. So if they really see Costco employees that you're on your phones throughout your shift, they're gonna call your managers. And like, they don't like that. Basically, they don't even have access to their phone themselves. So why does the visitor get access to their phone? So any other like reporting things or NDT, Repsly things, or proof of sales you will have to do, which I'll show you guys later on. Do it discreetly. Do it behind like your kiosk, for example. Do it somewhere where clients don't see you or employees don't see you, like meaning behind your row, for example, not in front of your kiosk, right? And do it quickly. And if you have a question to your manager, like go back a bit and call your manager there or text your manager there. And for the first shift, so beginning of each shift, you have to park in the back of the store, depending the Costco. So you can ask an employee there. You'll probably have employees outside. So ask, where can I park? I'm a visitor. And then you can go in from the back store, because the front door of Costco will not be open till 9 a.m. Sometimes they tell you park a certain area. Sometimes it's okay. Like they want you to park just at a regular Costco place, depending on the place. And you should have your hair tied up, even though you have a hairnet. It is mandatory. And disinfectant wipes, so clean machines and station between every tasting preparation. If you don't have disinfectant wipes, you have disinfectant spray with paper towels. Hair nets and beer nets are mandatory. Disposable gloves are mandatory. And for dress code, so it is acceptable that you wear only a black full outfit. So it should be a black blouse, button up, button down, collared polo shirt, or 3/4 sleeve is also okay. But no t-shirts, no hoodies, no any brands of any kinds, sleeveless low-cut tops, muscle shirts, etc. So you have to wear very professional, basically like an office look. And like just a regular black blouse would be fine. And for pants, it should have always black pants, black slacks, black chinos, capris, since if it's more hot right now, and knee-length skirts. It's unacceptable you wear sweatpants, leggings, ripped jeans, jeans in general, or oversized jeans, or even mini skirts. Also, for shoes, you always have to wear black as well, preferably. If you don't have black shoes, you can go for a regular closed shoes, but no toes open. Okay. And also clean, like it's pretty self-explanatory, but like, no hair, no animal fur hair, or no, like it should be well ironed out, clean. And your hair should be tidy and tied up. All facial hair and trimmed neatly kept. Appearance, minimal jewelry if necessary. Nails clean and short at a tasteful length. Ensure your apron and name tag are always worn unless you're on a break. Please remove apron when you're going on a break or bathroom break. Remember to wear your hairnet when demonstrating. We're repeating this a lot. I think you guys understand how important it is. And have your apron and clothes clean and pressed prior to every store visit. And just to give you guys an idea, I added this. So in case of loss or damage of an apron or badge, replacement items will be provided at the following cost. So aprons are $65 and the name tag is $10 if it's lost. So please make sure you put it somewhere in your kiosk that's more further, and you take care of it. You don't bring it home. You put it on at your kiosk always. Just in case if you ever lose, it's not going to be your fault, basically. And these replacement fees will be deducted directly from your employees' pay, and employees must sign a uniform replacement authorization form before receiving a new item. All right. Let's continue with inline boots and supplies. So what you have in store. So this is what the skid looks like when you first get it. And you should like basically build up your boot yourself. If you have questions with your boot, please let your managers know. It's very self-explanatory, but for some reason it took me so much time to build my first one. Basically, there's 4 poles, which are the base of your boot. There's three floors on your boot where you have to place the boot yourself, and there's little like black pieces where you have to hang near your floors of your kiosk to hold the kiosk on the poles. Okay, so like if your manager, I mean, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach your manager. Like they're here for you. They're super helpful. But at the black bases where you'll be hanging around your poles to hold the floors of your kiosk, there's a thin layer one side on the black piece, and there's a thicker layer. The thin layer should be always on the upper side, because when you're sliding the floor, if the thicker part is up, then it's going to be stuck. So the thinner part is going to slide directly, and it's going to stop at the black piece you put. I don't know if it makes sense. Does it make sense? Like that black piece where it's holding the poles, you can put it backwards as well. So put the thin part on top and the thicker part at the bottom. It took me so much time to realize that. It'll make sense if you guys see it in person. But of course, if you guys have any questions, please reach your managers. And details. So these are the stock you have. Sorry. So full boot with braces and fabric, wrap in bag. So basically, you will have, of course, the boot and a fabric about Nespresso to hang it on your kiosk to also hide the things interior. The 2 demo machines for tasting. So usually it's going to be 1 cities and 1 virtual. The Nespresso capsules, sleeves of 10. Yellow bin supplies, which is more. Let me just close my. All right. So yeah, so the yellow bin is gonna have all the extra like Nespresso supplies, and then the power and extension cord, the duct tape, the cling wrap, Nespresso binder for the coffee tabs, and then the uniform, of course. So the apron and name tag. The name tag will be printed by your manager, but the pin is in your kiosk. And then the yellow bin details. So you'll have a water jug, paper towel, Nespresso coffee cups, the red recycling bags, garbage can and bags, cleaning supplies, the PPE, I'll be right back sign, and the Nespresso property sign where you can tape on top of the box. Always when you wrap up the skid, like make sure you wrap it with the paper, with a cling wrapper. That's what you call it. The cling wrapper where the Costco employees, when they take it back, put it up, it's not gonna fall. Like it's wrapped well. And fill up your area as much as you can. Don't forget your PPE, because when you're filling up your first time your drawer, technically it should already for the first time be set up, just because you guys are entering the first week or the third week. But you might have to install it yourself as well. But just fill up as much as you can. Like the skid is going to be at a higher place, where sometimes you have to bother an employee to bring them back down. So the more you have your kiosk filled, the less you're going to need to ask someone to bring it down. And you'll have your end cap, which is basically the beginning of your roll. You'll be working Thursdays to Mondays. Depending on the store, they might ask you to tear down and set up every visit, and set up Thursday, tear down Monday. So boots must be removed from floor and stored in designated space. They might let you leave the kiosk even though you're on off. So you don't have to tear down the boot at the beginning or end of each week sometimes, but that should be discussed with the Costco manager. And if there are any scenarios, including broken machines, damaged boots, no electricity, no stock, something bad happened, you need to call your manager. Out of stock, running low on milk, no data, you can't do your reporting, please call your manager. They're there for you. They're basically getting paid to help you guys. So feel free to contact them, or me in any case. I usually don't work on weekends, but throughout the weekdays, I'm available. So the kiosk at the end completely, this is what it looks like. You're gonna put it back, everything at its original boxes, and repack everything and leave skid near the loading decks where a new Nespresso kit will be waiting for you at your next Costco location. Critical packed handles for the transportation, so you don't have to bring it yourself. Any questions? Is everything clear till now? Okay. We have an hour left. Do you guys need a 5-minute break before I start showing you guys the reportings? Yeah? Okay, let's clear out your heads a bit. So we'll come back in 5 minutes. Let's do 4:03. Well, Sid Hearts, it's gonna be different, I think, for your time. Let's do 03. Perfect, thank you. Just give me one moment. I'm just answering one message. Sorry. Nicole, I just want to be sure you're free to work starting tomorrow, right? Your mic is on mute.
No, that's why I wanted to like see the schedule so I could talk to my current employer.
Okay. When do you think are you available to start? Just to get an idea, because the coordinator is asking me.
Because I have to go to work after
Mm-hmm.
this. I can talk to him about it, and I can give you an update as soon as I talk to him.
Okay. So it's not sure yet. You're gonna talk about it at your job and then
Yeah,
um give the answer. Okay, perfect. I'll let them know.
I can give you data today if whoever is available.
They'll give the answer by today, you said?
Yeah, yes, because I
Today.
will be talking to the manager. He's gonna be there, and so yeah, I'll have to talk to him about it.
Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna let Eric know as well.
I just have a question when you're done.
Yes, go ahead.
So the program says it's until December 11. What does like that program means, and what's gonna happen after December 1st?
Give me a second. Sorry. Okay, so basically it's the end date of the program. That means the program of Costco finishes on December 1st.
Okay.
It's basically a contracting job, the job you have. It's not a permanent role.
Mm-hmm. So like after that, and then I guess it's until December 1st. That's like the job.
It's December 1st, exactly. You can have a conversation with your manager to continue working for Match Retail if you are looking for another job after that.
Okay. So I just want to make sure because yeah, because I am a full time right now, and yeah, I'm not sure. That's why I want to ask what's gonna happen after December 1st. If I'm still employed or no. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, so exactly. It's basically a contracting job. So it's full time, but with a contract. So that means that December 1, it finishes. If you are looking for a newer job, if there are positions open, you can have a conversation with your manager, and yeah, they'll give you, if it's possible, open options at Match Retail.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions before I start the reportings?
No.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So I first want to show you guys how to use Repsly. Let me just make my screen a bit bigger. Okay. So Repsly is an application, as I mentioned before, you have to download before your first shift to do your check-ins and your checkouts from your shifts. So it's basically where you get paid. So this is what an application looks like. Please download it before your first shift, and you can download it from your App Store or your Google Play if you have an Android. Location services should be always on, even though, like, you know, the reason why we ask you guys to put it on is because we used to have another site before that didn't ask location services, and NCAs sometimes punch in and left. So it's just the proof and accountability that you were actually in store working that day. Okay. You won't be able to do your check-in till the location services are on. And this is an email you will receive as for you to create your Repsly account. So it's going to say welcome to Repsly, and you should set your password from there. If you don't receive this email, let your manager know, because you can access your account till you get this. So set your password, and then you enter your email. Instead of writing here connect, you go here sign in with SSO for the first time, and you add your password, what you choose, and then you do sign in. If you ever forget your password, you can always do forget password, email, and you get the opportunity to change your password from your email. So this is the main page you see, the home page. It is very, very, very important. When you're doing your check-in, you have to go do it through schedule, the tab schedule. If you do it in any other way, because there are other options to do, at the end of your report, there's going to be so many surveys you have to complete. So the Costco survey is the only one you have to complete at the end of your shift. And this is where it appears, where you do it the correct way. So you go on schedule, and there's going to be the calendar that's going to appear of the month. You click on the day you're working. Once you click on that, there's going to be a blue button saying check-in. Okay, and this is where you do your check-in. So don't do it through anywhere else. Do schedule, and then you click on the day, and then click on check-in. And that's about it for the beginning of the shift. And then you start working. Once you finish your shift, so this is the complete last step you should do after you put your kiosk at the place they're asking you. There's a form you have to complete before checking out. This is where you see the form. So it's going to say the day of 0 on 1 task completed. And there's a little arrow right over here, right on top of the checkout button. So you click on this arrow, and it brings you to the survey you have to complete. This is where you complete the survey. So it asks you, for example, questions like take a picture of your kiosk, or how was your day, or how many tastings you did, you know, all like questions you need to answer. And including, you should have another report to submit for any stocks you need only on Monday. So only on Mondays for you to have good enough stock for the next week. And once you submit those 2 forms only on Mondays, but in usual cases, it's going to be only 1 form, you click on the button submit right on top here. And then when you click on submit, you go back on schedule, you go back on the on that calendar you clicked on, and you do your checkout. So here it's going to say, if you want to be extra sure your report has been submitted, it's going to say 1 task completed. That has been done, or 2 tasks completed if you also have the stock reporting to do. And you finally check out. So you click on checkout, the red button. It's going to say, are you sure you want to check out? Yes. And last step, you go on activities. In activities, the main page, you see here, there's a red square you have to click on. You click on that square, it's going to say, are you sure you want to end your day? You click on end the day. And that's pretty much it. That stops the timer to roll. Are we okay with Repsly? Do we have any questions?
Just in case that after that we don't know where to go, do we have like a support from like someone, like a manager I could ask what to do in case I don't know what's to do next?
So if I'm not mistaken, Nicole, I think Eric will not be with you the first day. I think another NCA will be with you the first day. So they'll be the one showing you how to do the check-ins, check-outs, NDT reporting. If you have any questions, they'll be there for you. For Siddharth, it's Diane, because the reason why Nicole, Eric is not going is because it's so far from us, Ontario. So only, sorry?
Because it is from Quebec.
It's from,
right?
yeah. So he'll contact you even, of course. But if you have any questions, contact him. He's there for you. But he won't drive up only to see you for 2 hours, sadly. So any other questions? Contact him. He's always there for you guys online. Like, he will come see you even eventually. But the first shift, it's gonna be another NCA helping you out. You won't be alone, basically.
Thank
Okay,
you.
of course. Any other questions for Repsly? No? Okay, perfect. And then I'll move on to NDT. So NDT is the Nespresso reporting. It's also called Nespresso demo tool. We use NDT. And this is where you see your schedule, and you have to add your sales, and you have to sign off the report to the manager. These are the 3 steps you have to do. So how do we do that? So I can send you guys the login information here right now. So you have the site in the chat right now. And you will also have the same site by your email. So, okay, are you guys with me? Perfect. So you have to sign in with your email, but it is very important. Instead of writing .com at the end of your email, you have to write .demo. If not, it's not going to let you check in. So take a screenshot of this if you prefer. And then password is for you to choose. You do your login. You should receive maybe like a login NDT email to first create your NDT account. So this is the homepage. You go in planning directly. Second tab on top. And this is where you see all your schedule. If you see a blue color, first color like this, basically like this, that means that report has been confirmed. So you're working that day. If you see a light blue, that means the report has been submitted by you, but it's not yet approved from your manager. If it's navy blue, that means that report has been refused from your manager, There's a reason why it got refused. That means it was missing something. So you have to click on that navy blue report and submit that information as soon as possible. That report has, like, every report basically on your schedule should be green. If you don't see green, if you see other colors, like if you have, let's say, a day that you didn't work, you're going to have a yellow color like this, that should not be there. So that's going to be your manager for them to correct it. But basically, your schedule, all the reports you have submitted, it should be green. So if you see a navy blue, that means you have to click on that, go in comments, see what's missing, and send it back with the correct information. If it's green, that means you did it well. If it's yellow, that means you did not do your report before you left your shift. We never want to see that yellow color. We don't like that yellow color. And red, that means your shift has been annulled, so you're not working that day. Okay. So you will have the same table here right on top of your schedule, so you can always check. So you're going to have 2 demo reports to complete every day. The first one will be the first hour of your shift. So 8 to 9 a.m. because that we don't want that to count part of your sales. So that report should be submitted, but you also want to get paid. So again, it should be submitted. And the rest of the shift, there's going to be another report. This is where you enter all of your sales, all of the information necessary. So basically, the first hour, you submit the report. The second one, you can leave it till the end of your shift. You click on that report, and then you have to create your demo report. So this is where you click create my demo report right on top here. And then there's going to be free information where you have to complete here. You don't change the hours. Even though you work 30 minutes late, 30 minutes early here, you never touch. Okay? Even break time, you leave it empty. It's already calculated for you. Original capsules are the number of original capsules you used for the tastings. Virtual capsules are the virtual capsules of how many you use throughout the day. So count how many you're doing throughout the day. And number of contacts is the number of people you talked to. So that's not only high, that's more conversations. Like you did a sale, you did a tasting, a client asked you a question. Those count as conversations. And then there's going to be 3 other questions here. You can leave it empty. So you do save. We're okay till now? Great. And then once you created that demo report, under the category demo report, you're going to have this yellow number that's going to appear. So that's your report. You click on that. And you have to add your first, for example, all your sales you did throughout the day. So if you did 10 different sales, you need 10 different sales added here. Okay. So you write the model you sold. Okay. Quantity here, you never change. Even though you did 5 sales of that machine, you leave 1 here. And then when you submit this, you're going to re-enter another sale separately. So each sale should be done separately. And then you add the total that you sold the machine to. And then these, you can leave it empty. You can do save. And then you're going to enter the second, third, fourth sale. And then you enter, okay, so as I was mentioning before, okay. So technically, I would suggest for now, take pictures of the serial numbers of the machines you sell to the clients. Okay. So each sale you do to customers, take a picture of that. For the first shift especially, till your manager tells you otherwise. So maybe Nicole like I said, Eric might ask you to not take pictures and to just take one picture at the end to know how many sales you did by the paper or the online version. You have to talk to the manager basically of Costco to ask how many sales you did that day for each machine. And that's going to be the picture you can upload here. And for Sit Hard, every sale you do, take a picture of each machine you sell, the serial numbers, and how many you added here, you add the files here. Okay, since you're in BC. And if Diane tells you otherwise, then it's going to be the same as Nicole. Finally, you're going to submit the report. So there's going to be this blue button. You click on that. Maybe Sit Hard for you, an example. Take a picture of the serial number of the machine and the box, so you can pair the two of them at the end together. At the end, like if you have 5 different serial numbers, you're not going to know what machine is with which box. So you click on this blue button to start your survey. You just have to answer the first question. It's going to say first name and last name of manager. So this is where you have to talk to a Costco manager to write their full name. It can be the same time where you're signing off at the front desk, and you probably have to give that visitor card back. So you add their full name, and then you don't have to answer the rest of the questions. You just do continue, submit. And finally, you go back completely up. And this is where the manager will sign in this rectangle with their finger, their signature. And then you're going to do here, submit. Here. That's the ugliest circle I've seen. So basically, you do submit right over there. So the manager's signature should be done before you leave the shift. That means you didn't submit the report. Do we have any questions? Again, if you have any questions, your managers will be always there for you. Okay. All right. So all Repsly and NDT reports must be submitted before leaving the store. NDT reports must include the name and signing manager. Manager signatures are mandatory for every NDT report. Overdue reporting may result in loss of incentives, again, because there's no proofs of how many sales you did, so we can't pay for the shifts you worked. And if we say yellow, that means technically you didn't even work that day. So it should never be yellow. And don't forget to complete the Repsly inventory forms on Mondays. And for Costco inline incentive program, are you guys ready? So for each machine you sell, you will get $3 per machine sold. Okay, this is a huge incentive. A lot of other programs, there's no commissions, and usually, like I said, it's normal you sell minimum 10 machines. So that's an automatic, like, I guess, bonus more on your paycheck you get. Basically, you're paid much more per hourly than what you are now. So it is very important. Use this incentive. Talk to as much customers as you can. Like, talk about Nespresso's product. The quality is hard to miss. So, Nespresso is a brand that's already liked. It's easy to sell. It's the product itself, it's easy to use. The mechanism, it's unique. And you should use those as arguments. Okay. So again, the reportings have to be submitted, and you have to complete the program to get the incentive. So if you, let's say, decide to change your mind, you drop in the middle of the program, sadly, we can't pay you your incentives. Okay. All right. So do we have any questions? Think well. Like any questions you guys, anything you guys want me to review with you guys, anything you guys weren't sure, the procedures, the coffee procedures, what capsules we have, machines, maintenance, anything you guys want that are not you guys are not too sure of.
So like in
Uh,
terms of reporting like the number of sales, do we like report it after the sale or like can we just like write it down on side and then report it all at the end?
At the end, but count how many sales you do throughout the day. But the only, technically for you, Sidhar, the only proof of sale you get is the pictures you take of the
Hmm.
cereal and the machines you sold.
Okay. Okay, so like the customer isn't like paying with us, right? Like we don't take payment. So we
No,
need to like keep track of like which customers took boxes.
exactly.
Okay. For the box, are we gonna be giving it out or like can the customer just come and take it?
And come grab it. It's going to be technically your kiosk should ideally be right next to the Nespresso stock. But sometimes, like, depending on the Costco, they might have a full row filled with other stocks. So, I'd say always keep an eye out to the Nespresso stock because you might even have clients that see the price, even though they didn't see you, they just take the machine and go. So in any case, like always keep an eye and an ear out for the Nespresso stock.
All right.
Great question.
and for the Nespresso like products and the pods, do we get like a portfolio for it just to like study it? Like it's just like so for like a short time, at least we know what we're talking about when it
For
comes to
sure.
customers.
So in the Geotang, in the folder we give you, there's going to be also a lot of other information, like about the job you do, protocols, any extra stuff you need. But right now, since we have time, before I show you guys a couple more videos, I want to show you, maybe it would be a good idea. I can show you the different capsules. Do you want to see that? Like the aromas? Maybe you can take a screenshot. Would that be a good idea? Okay.
Yeah, also for like the proof of sale, for me, like taking pictures of like the barcode and the actual front of the product, because like some customers can just like come and take it without me giving it to them. Would I need to like keep track of those as well?
The case where you lose sales of customers taking the machines, I'd say yourself even talk to a manager for you to get access to the list of how many sales you did.
All right, okay.
I think honestly that should be applied as a policy for all over Canada because it's the best way for everyone, to not stress about the barcodes. And technically, if you even realize it, I think Diane will even mention, I think the barcodes are the same.
Mm.
So I think the best solution would be taking a picture of that manager's version of but the reason why we don't want to ask the manager is because sometimes they might not give you the picture.
I see.
So, yeah.
Sometimes they change their mind like at the end, like before they even check out. So it's not like for sure that they're gonna grab that item.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's much better
Do
to
we
have like pictures with a manager.
Hmm.
do we have like a count of the inventory that we have? So like at the end of like the shift, I can just sort of keep track of the inventory and know like, oh, this many boxes were taken out.
It's going to be Costco. Like, again, it's going to be the same paper version or the online version where they can show you. Um, yeah, if you have problems with stock, I'd say the best bet would be talking to a Costco employee.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So just to give you like an idea of what capsules we have at Nespresso as well. Like as an argument as well, like I want you guys to know what coffee options the clients will receive. So if they buy a machine, there's so many capsules. This is the Nespresso.ca site, and they have, for example, like limited editions right now. So they have the pumpkin spice cake. This is a pretty special capsule. I saw it yesterday at Nespresso. I've honestly never seen it before. It's the ripe fruit and caramel notes. I never tried it either, so it's a good choice if a client likes very even luxurious coffee. Nola would be a good option to be mixed with oat milk. And you have these two, one of my personal favorites. Honestly, I absolutely adored it today. You guys should try it out as well if you guys like pistachio. It's a pistachio vanilla flavor over ice, or even a coconut. But these two are more limited edition flavors. And then you have, let me just move this. So we have like the coffee plus. So these are with vitamin coffees if the client likes. Like this one is infused with B6 and this one is infused with B12 as vitamins. It's perfect for immune system for Vivida.
I just have a question. Are
Yes.
those the one you're showing us? Is that item going to be in stock in Costco or?
No, so this is all Nespresso coffee the client has access after they buy a machine on the Nespresso site or at the boutique itself, or by customer service if they call, or even by the Nespresso site or app store. So this is only Nespresso product. Sorry, I'm showing you guys just for you guys to get an idea of what flavors and what options the client might have after. But I'll show you guys the capsules we have as tastings as well. So these are the iced coffees. Iced coffee should be always poured on ice. So it's never infused cold. It's always infused hot. And then you have the decaffeinated capsules. Like I said, the decaf coffee we have is fully natural. It's made with it's made with the Swiss method. It's basically the beans infused in natural water. And when you finally remove them, it's going to be fully decaffeinated, like after 13-hour procedure. So it's a very luxurious procedure to have. But the reason why we have this procedure is because it's going to keep the same taste of a real Nespresso coffee. It's not going to change. A lot of other brands, they use the chemical acetate d'éthyle. This completely changes and alters the flavor of the coffee, but it's easier to do. So this is one capsule we have, the Meloto Decaffeinato. It's the perfect balanced coffee, medium intensity 6, and it's 230 milliliter. So regular coffee, basically. And then we have, so these are the more Grand Longo, bigger mugs iced coffees. So Stormio would be an option. So it's an intensity 8 on 11, and it's more of a spicy and woody note. And then we have the regular Melozio, not decaffeinated. We have, so as you see, like the intensities here, you can see how strong or how light they are. Like for example, this one would be an intensity 2 on 11. It's the lightest coffee we have. It's perfect for a Sunday morning, let's say. The altos or even the carafe options, you even have an iced coffee cold brew. Like this one you can make, let's say the night before, put it in your refrigerator, and it's going to have a sweeter note by the morning, and it's going to obviously be a nice coffee. The Grand Longos, so 150, this is an option we have. Costa Rica, it's an intensity 7 on 11, and it's a 150 milliliter coffee. It's more of a malted and sweet cereal note. I really, really enjoyed this flavor of coffee. So again, more lighter flavors here. And usually even the color of the capsule represents the intensity of coffee. Like, for example, an orange means it's more of a lighter intensity compared to a dark blue or even a darker gray color. Espressos or ristrettos even here. like you see the capsule sizes here, they're much smaller. Like there's less coffee. It's also a flatter capsule. Some clients might ask you, like for Virtuo, like how can you make with one touch of a button different flavors of coffees, different sizes? What will determine the quantity of coffee I get? It's the size, the amount of capsule, the amount of grams you get inside that capsule. So different espressos, different medium or lighter intensity espressos. This was organic, so it's a coffee from Peru, which is an organic coffee. These are the double espressos, perfect for iced coffees as well. So this is another option I love. It's called the maple pecan, and you guys will have this as an option for clients. And usually flavored coffees, they don't have an intensity just because they're made to be mixed with milk. So if you add like a drop of milk, that means it automatically alters the intensity of coffee you get. So it does change. Sorry, my dog is barking. I hope you guys can't hear him.
I don't hear it now.
Okay. I think that's pretty much it. And then you have the original capsules. Decaf. And as you see, decaf coffees have a red strip around the capsule. That means it's decaffeinated. The ristretto is good. Is one of my favorites. Very strong coffee. A lot of clients, usually Italian clients, love this capsule. Like it's their favorite. They adore it. Like people who love strong espressos, they're gonna love this. And then we have the arpeggio. I really enjoy this capsule as well because it's more creamier than the other one. It's more of an intensity 9 on 11. It's like the Altisio on the Virtuo side. Altisio is an espresso on the Virtuo range. Then the different cities of coffee. Did I mention the Colombia? No, not yet. The cities. Doesn't mean we cultivate from those cities. Oh, you can also click on the button and have more description. Let's see. This site will be always available to you as well if you go on your phone, nespresso.ca. This is another capsule. Oh, okay, I didn't know. This is an intensity 6 for the original range. For Virtual, it's an intensity 5 for Colombian. Okay, good to know. Yeah, so it's more of a fruity and more vibrant coffee. It's technically better you click on a shorter espresso, but Colombia, it's better for regular coffee sizes, depending on what the client likes. Because you have on the CT's machine Americano and then Americano extra large. It's more of a bigger quantity of coffee you get. It does basically a big mug, like a big coffee size. And then the flavors, different aromas. And then our heritage. This is our 4 first capsules espresso first ever created. So we still have them. Voluto is one of the most popular lighter intensity coffees we have. And then there's also always coffee assortments, different bundles the client can buy. Okay. Any other questions?
Is there any like a main line that we like tell the customers or
Mm,
highlight the things that we have to like tell the customers about the machine?
so I can give you guys maybe like an example of what a speech would look like. Would that be a good idea? Okay. So Okay, so starting off, welcoming. So you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I think that's gonna be a good option. Give me a second. I'll review the mystery shop list we have with you guys. So this is basically, if you guys want, I can even send it to you, but you can screenshot on my side as well. This is all the list we expect to tell customers. But this is technically the POS list. So on the Canadian Tire side of the program, like POS version of it, there's more details to say. But in a general way, I want maybe it's a good idea. I can review it with you guys. This is the French version of it. Give me a second. So starting off, it's very important you welcome the client in the best way possible. So that means having a positive body language, etc. Okay, that's pretty much self-explanatory, and having also a good representation of yourself. So having your PPE on, making sure your clothes are very well cleaned. There's no, everything is well set up, and your boot is also clean. And then the actual conversation part. So you start with, for example, hey, what brings you at Costco today? Or hey, my name is Alik. I'm a new Nespresso customer advisor. Do you want to try an espresso coffee? So this is an example of what welcoming would look like. And then you would start with open-ended questions. So these are the questions I usually suggest. So does anybody want to read with me for me? My throat is burning. Maybe these questions.
I'll just read.
Go ahead.
All right. So things like what is your current coffee system? Who would be using your future Nespresso coffee machine? What are the moments when you usually drink coffee? What type of coffees do you normally enjoy in terms of flavors, intensity, origin, milk, etc.? What is your preferred cup size? Ristretto, espresso, lungo, regular mug, etc.
Exactly. So these are the perfect, like I say, usually what, who, where, how, when. It's the perfect list of linear way you can remember the questions. Okay. Are we okay with these questions?
Can I take a screenshot?
Go ahead. Of course. And then reformulating customers' needs. So it seems pretty self-explanatory, but it shows the client you're listening to them. Okay, so let's say they say, I really love espressos. My wife goes for regular coffees and she usually likes flavored coffees. And I usually have let's say, a pressure machine at home. And then you would say, Sir, ma'am, from what I understood, you usually go for espressos and your wife goes for flavored regular coffees. What I can suggest you is maybe the virtual machine would be the best suit for you both, because not only it can make espressos, but also regular coffee options. We also had the original range, which also does the size of coffees, but I'd suggest the virtual because it does create bigger, larger volumes of coffees for you. And then so reformulating, or to recap, the people that will be using the Nespresso machine at home are, and then you reformulate. And then offer a sensorial jar. So this is one thing that you guys won't need. Because we do have a sensorial jar at Canadian Tire where client can smell the different coffees before they do tasting, but we don't have that. Offer a coffee tasting to the client. So obviously offer them what choice of coffee they would like, offering them with the needs of what the person wants and not from what you like. Always ask and then give them 2-3 options. Just mention the name of the capsule and the aromas and maybe the intensities as well on the scale of that I showed you. And then present the characteristics of tasted coffee. So we have quality of the coffee, origins, so where they come from, best time to drink, and maybe, for example, Melozio coffee is a Brazilian Arabica with cereal notes, perfect pairing with a coffee, with a chocolate croissant in your morning coffee. So creating that history, like that, I guess in a way, that story inside their clients' lives, it creates a good representation. Like, for example, they love very light coffees Sunday morning, so the best option would be Solelio. Or they really love strong espressos to wake up throughout the day. So if you want that quick shot of coffee, let's say I don't know, like a ristretto would be a good option, etc. And ask the feedback on the tasting coffee. So how do you like this coffee? And while you're preparing the coffee, show them step by step how you're making the coffee. And at the same time, explain, if let's say you're finished pressing the button, start explaining the recyclability procedures, B Corp, AAA. So this includes in the presenting coffee and machine solutions. So provide facts to demonstrate the Nespresso coffee. So a wide variety of coffees or high quality coffee. So for example, let me show you our wide selection of coffee. Pick up coffee menu. So technically we usually have a Canadian Tire menu, but I don't think you would have that. But you'll be able to show in front of your kiosks, like in a transparent sort of box of what coffees we offer to customers. And then you can show them with those. Or sustainable products. So B Corp, farming program, recyclability, organic, coffee freshness, etc. And then clearly recommend virtual machine, but also compared to the original range. Present a minimum of 2 aspects of virtual machine. So how simple it is to use, versatility, characteristics, the experience, and the technology. Are we following till now? Okay. And then explain how the recommended machines are using to the client will, how the recommended machines you are suggesting to the client will suit his needs or bring value. So, for example, you're a busy mom, you'll be probably busy in the morning. So what I would suggest you is the virtual, because once you press on that button and you're busy changing the diaper, your coffee will be ready for you to go out of your home, for example. Let's say a good, like a story would be nice. And then closing and engaging further. So tell concrete ways to buy capsules. So this could be the boutique, online, application, by phone number, with an Nespresso subscription. There's even a subscription you can get at Nespresso with cheap, like less expensive coffees if they buy a big amount and ordered automatically each month. And then inform the client that if he buys a machine today, you can help him and make his first coffee. No, yeah, you don't have to do that. You don't have access to tap. Talk about the machine after sales service. So that means the warranty, maintenance, assistance, anything else. And the client too has to do a maintenance, like the scaling procedure. After 6 months to 1 year, they have to do the scaling procedure, because specifically with an espresso virtual next machine, you even get a Wi-Fi included Bluetooth connectivity with your machine. So it's not a Tesla. It's not going to make your coffee automatically from your bed. Not yet, even, but it'll let you know, like, if you need any descaling procedures, if you need water, if you need any extra stuff in your machine, or if it's broken, something like that, it'll let you know on your phone for you to get an idea. And the product can be bought from Nespresso to descale the machine. It's around $10, and it does come in 2 different liquid packets. And like I mentioned, this video that you will be using after your first wave has finished of your store, it's the same procedure. You can ask your client to go on the Nespresso site, and there's the descaling procedures for each machine, and each video is separate. So request their opinion on proposed machine or services, what you think about this machine, the services I shared with you, etc. Attempt to trigger a purchase decision. So the closure basically either invite the caller or take advantage of the promotion or even ask if they're looking for a sale, etc. And keep the customer engaged even though the client doesn't want to buy it right now. Invite them to come back, tell them the days you're going to be working that day, but the stock is limited, especially for Costco. Aside that, it's pretty much it. Like it seems a lot right now, and I'm sure you guys probably are overwhelmed, but completely understandable, and that's why your managers are there for you, right? So if you guys have any questions, please feel free. I'm telling you guys again and again, like they're there for you. And do you guys need a screenshot of this? Did you guys already take a picture of this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I took it.
All right, perfect. Any other questions?
No.
Yeah, you guys are sure? Are you guys feeling ready for the field?
Yes, it should be fine.
Yeah, it is going to be fine. It's just the first shift. You might probably feel maybe a bit nervous, but don't be, because everybody's completely understandable. Like, we understand if there's mistakes. Just learn with those mistakes, right? That's the most important. So if there aren't any questions, thank you for attending this training. I really, really enjoyed this training with you guys. I think you guys are ready. I think you guys asked the perfect questions. You guys were listening the whole training. You guys were engaged. You were answering the questions very well. So I think you guys are ready. And if you guys have any questions, please stay. If not, your training hours will be uploaded on NDT shortly after this training, and you will be contacted either from your manager or Heather, which is our coordinator for Costco, for any extra steps for your first shift. So if there aren't any questions, you guys are free to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. See you soon.